And just like that, we're live.
What's going on, man?
What's up, Josh? How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Still waking up a little bit.
Yeah,
Come
that's
in here, I might need to find a hat to throw on so I don't scare any viewers away.
no big deal. Everybody here is, I think everybody that's going to be here is going to be pretty accepting of it. Pretty much however we look. So, except I did have to throw a hoodie on. It's colder than I thought it was in here.
Oh, yeah.
And I got me some hot coffee with my UFO garage sticker.
Yeah, man. Now I'm waiting to get some kind of some garage merchandise, man. I haven't got anything yet. I got to
Oh,
do an
really?
advertisement. Yeah.
Man, Ben's been pretty generous for me. He hooked me and Sonny up with these paranormal chop shop stickers.
No, I haven't said anything to him yet. I'm sure he'll send me something if I mention it.
Yep. He definitely will. He's really cool about that. And all of his designs are sweet. Like he designed obviously both of those. And
Oh,
then
hell yeah.
had them printed and sent out. So he's pretty cool.
Yeah, I heard him mention something once about doing like he's good with graphic art and stuff.
Yeah, really good with it. He built his website and Dave's website and what was that one that he did? Oh, the Big Phone Home. He did that website.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's really talented with that kind of stuff.
Big Phone Home. What is that? Another channel?
Yeah, the Unidentified Celebrity Review channel with Luis Jimenez, and I think Michael Mataluni is still his co-host, but he's also on. They're both on YouTube, and they organized this event where they all called, like they had everybody on their YouTube channel call or write to Congress people, and it was like a 3-day event. They were live for like 24 hours or something. I should know more information.
You said Unidentified Celebrity Review?
Yeah, it's a station. It's a channel on YouTube. It sounds kind of like the Demi Lovato show.
That's what I thought you were talking about. That's why I started watching that a little bit yesterday on people. Man, I mean, it's good for what it is, I guess. I was just watching to see if there was any UFO, sightings or anything like that. But
yeah, nothing groundbreaking like what we've got today.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out that channel.
Yeah,
review.
I'm gonna try to share one video, like not the one that we're both thinking of, but I'm gonna try to share one and just see if my camera stays unfrozen.
You got like those. I think I sent like 10 of them to you, didn't I? Those ones that I recorded.
Yeah, I've got a few of those. Everyone's seen this one, but I'm gonna play this one and just see how my camera reacts.
It has an orange, white glow.
So
sometimes it gets darker.
All right, my camera is still working.
Reddish, orange, pink.
That video still picks me up.
Oh, this is the helicopter one, right?
It's glowing even brighter.
Yeah, everything's quiet and everything seems fine.
Towards the moon.
He's just checking out an orb.
It's right after I left him.
Oh, this is the same day that you were there and right after you left?
It's either the same night or the very next night. One or the other. Because he sent it to me. He sent it to me the very next day after I left his house.
Okay.
Next night.
See, I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's flying in the same direction as, like, I think that's Orion's belt right there that it's flying through. See the 3 stars lined up.
They often come right over.
Yeah, I was thinking it was either getting dimmer or maybe it's flying farther away, but you could tell it's going away because the top is coming.
Hey, what's up, Grandmaster? Thanks for hanging out, dude. We both shook our heads.
Black Hawk.
Just a Black Hawk helicopter flying over my house. No big deal.
Nothing I'll be with, man.
No biggie.
Direction
It's just a routine thing over here at the Bledsoes.
Dude, could you imagine living like that? I mean, he's told me that he's gone outside and had a drone literally hovering over his land. Just a
Really?
random thing. Yeah, I mean, dude, like that. That
Because
pissed him off, to be honest, man.
yeah, like if you want to see some orbs, just drive out here and talk to me. Don't be flying drones above the house.
Yeah, then I'm like, oh, hold on. I
That's
gotta
kind
take
of
a shower. I'm washing my hair because it looks greasy as fuck. But that blue beam that I had over, or that I had seen over there at Chris's house. I asked him again about this yesterday, and he said that he has seen that multiple times. And
blue beam.
the blue beam. Do you remember? Do you still have the picture of it? Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
beam
gonna
of.
have to send that to myself because I think I only have it on my phone.
Yeah, he said he seen that multiple times, and that tripped me out because I mean, there was a couple times I was out there and my eyes might have messed with me. I mean, I know I saw plenty of orbs, or
Yeah,
100%, but the beam of light, I know for a fact that I saw that, and when I told Chris, he was not surprised one bit. And I asked him about it yesterday, and he said that they've seen that multiple times out there. I was trying to figure out what it was because apparently they've been seen around UFO sightings, like multiple times.
oh wow, the blue beams.
Yeah, and there's some theories. I heard one theory that it could be, and I'm just theorizing. I'm not saying I think this is what it is, but that it's some kind of military monitoring or something they use against the UFOs or to monitor them somehow. Honestly, dude, he lives right by Fort Bragg, so I mean,
Right.
maybe I'm not saying that's what it is. I have no. If anybody does know, I would love to find out what that is.
Oh, I don't mean to trip you out here, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I can make that bigger on here. You can see it though, the blue beam.
No, I don't see anything yet.
Oh wow, okay.
It's just
Well, how do you share a image? Like I can share pictures all or videos all day, but I don't know how to share a picture.
I know Sonny had pulled it up once.
Let's see. Save to downloads.
When I was there that night, I kept questioning myself. Like as we are seeing orbs, I said out loud once, like, I don't know if I really saw that blue beam when my eyes playing tricks on me. And Chris says, with everything I see out here, I highly doubt that. And when I described it to him later, he's like, yeah, that's what we've seen. His wife has seen it. He's seen it. I have no idea that I'd never even heard of that, before that happened. Then I go to look it up to find out that they've been seen around UFO hotspots.
Yeah.
If there's any specific person that's a UFO hotspot, I think Chris is definitely one of them.
Well, the crazy thing is, like a lot of the things kind of look like coincidences, maybe, but he can't see that many things all the time. I mean, not he can't have that many coincidences like that meteor that we saw shoot in,
Yeah,
and that people I'll show here in a little bit. Like what are the chances of that happening?
yeah. It's
And
connected some way. Whether that thing that looks like a meteor was actually an orb imitating a meteor, whether the orb thing had something to do with the meteor or stopping it, there's some kind of connection. Yeah, that's it. That looks. I only saw one single beam, but it looked just. I mean, same color, everything. I didn't alter that picture. It looked just like that.
and we're
Those are my chills right now just looking at it.
yeah, that's nuts, man. Do you know the source of this picture or who took this one?
No, I just found that online. I typed in UFO beams of light, and that's the first thing that popped up.
And so this is just pretty much the same picture that you saw, or the same thing that you saw when you were out there.
Yep, the beam of light that I saw, it was a little bit wider. Again, because it was a lot closer, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a mile or two away, to be honest. So it was a little bit wider, but it was the exact same color. And just like how that is, how it's like brighter at the bottom on the top of the tree line, and then it fades out as it goes up in the sky. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, I know, it's coming from the ground and not coming from the sky. Yes. It was just like that. I mean, that's almost a perfect picture of what I saw.
Wow. And when, like, when in the timeline that you were there, did you see that? Was that after you saw an orb or right before?
It was as soon as the orb started. After we saw about two of them. If whenever we play some of the videos that I actually recorded, there's one video where you can see there's a plane at the bottom of the screen, and then there's an orb at the top. It's very dim, but then it brightens up, and you can hear us all get excited. Now, in real life, it was totally different. Like the camera doesn't know justice, really. It actually looked like it sizzled, kind of like a sparkler whenever it flared up like that, and then it kept going, and it came to an immediate stop, and it stopped above the other two that formed a triangle. But it was right after those first couple of orbs came that they had spotted a second orb turn completely around, and I saw it beam of light. And I'm just like, dude, I'm like, do y'all fucking see this? And I try to get their attention, and I look back, and it was gone within a couple seconds. But whenever I mentioned, to Chris what I saw, he just, like I said, he wasn't surprised at all.
Wow. I'm gonna try this one and see if this. I mean, I've got like 10 videos on here, but I'm gonna take the chance and see.
That's amazing.
Oh no, I've seen this one too.
That's one of mine right there.
I literally had two of them just pop straight in.
That was glowing orange, where the other one was glowing white. This one here.
You can't see what color they are in those videos, but they were actually like orange and white. And that was the main colors of them.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna keep trying to hunt down that one that you were just talking about with the. Let's see if this one is it.
That's incredible.
Nope, that's the same.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I have 2 copies of that.
I sent you like 10 of them.
I should have went through here and labeled them.
Oh, hey!
That's the one I'm talking about that flared up. God, it's so hard to see them.
Oh,
wow.
At the top of the screen out there.
Yeah, dude, like what? Nothing else does that. I mean, maybe a plane if you shine a light at it, but.
Well, there's a plane at the bottom of the screen right there.
Oh, hey!
Okay, right in the middle, or like right at the bottom, that's a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's blinking. You can tell that's a plane.
Yeah.
None of these that I've seen have blinked.
And that's the one that I said looked like it sizzled. It sparked. I mean, literally looked like sparks came off of it for a minute, kind of.
Still there? It's coming back.
Oh, sorry, dude. You broke up because I think the audio was playing over your microphone.
I was saying it just when it flared up, it almost looked like sparks came off of it, kind of. I don't know how to explain it, but it's.
Well, I've heard that description before when somebody else was describing these orbs coming in. I've heard that before. Somebody said it looked like sparks or like a mist of.
Yeah.
Like a mist or something.
If you listen to him right here, it's really hard to see in that video, but it came to an immediate stop.
He stopped. He stopped. Dead stop.
Dead stop.
Got in the middle of the frame. Yeah.
You hear the triangle?
Mm-hmm. Wow, dude.
Yeah, it's the camera doesn't know justice, man. It's so hard. And I actually had to record those videos from a separate phone. I don't know what I did wrong, but it wouldn't let me share any of those videos off my phone.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's another thing I want to do. I'm gonna actually do that while we're live because I'll keep forgetting. But I'm gonna set up a Google Docs folder so that you and I can just we can share videos in that, and that'll keep them off Messenger at least. Because I don't know if it's Messenger that's doing it. It seems like Messenger can't handle large files or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Messenger's been acting really fishy with me. I don't know. I've tried a few videos now and it wouldn't go through.
Yeah, I have the same problem, and it's not just with you; it's with all kinds of other stuff. So I'm just gonna make a folder real quick, and then we can just share stuff in there.
Phenomenal is going to follow you home, or well, he already knows that I was already experiencing it, so he said, it's going to increase the activity. It very may well because it's followed other people home.
So he just gives you that as a fact, like he knows it's going to follow you home.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, he already knew that I was seeing stuff. I mean, not as frequent as he is, but he already knows that I've had sightings and experiences. So I came home, and as soon as I go out on my back balcony, it was very cloudy that night. It wasn't thunderstorming. There was no lightning or rain. There's a perfect circular goldish yellow flash inside the cloud. I mean, like in the cloud, and it was almost a perfect circle, and it flashed. And this is what's crazy as fuck. And it blows my mind. So there's this guy I know named Rob Floyd. I can't say his last name. I met him through my MUFON group, and he has frequent sightings of orbs. So me and him started talking. I didn't know when I first reached out to him. He's actually in a wheelchair. He's disabled.
Okay.
I mean, he's like completely paralyzed. He can't walk or anything. But he's been praying. He prays for healing and stuff, and he sees these orbs. Well, whenever I was at Chris's house and we started seeing all these orbs, Chris sent out a prayer for me for healing of my ankle because my ankle swells really bad. About to have my foot ripped off in that car accident.
Right.
Me and I felt really grateful for that, but for some reason, Rob popped up in my head. So like as we were seeing the orbs, I sent out a little prayer for him. When I got home that night, and I saw this circular yellow flash inside the cloud. I swear to God on everything that I love. As soon as this orb flashed inside the cloud, Rob messages me on Facebook telling me that he just saw orb. And I mean to tell you, the ding from the messenger was the timing was perfect. It was like the orb flash ding, like exact fucking time. And I mean, dude, like how does that happen on accident? I don't believe in coincidences like that anymore,
Right.
And and he was telling me that he saw an orb. It's unbelievable. I mean, people are just going off my word on that, but I'm telling you that happened. I don't care if people believe me or not. And the fact that I was just praying for him earlier, it blew my mind. And then the next night is when I had the orange orb pop up that I recorded off my balcony that I sent you.
Man.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I don't even know how to. The fact that you keep seeing or getting all these synchronicities. I mean, you're getting them more than you can even tell me almost.
Yeah,
Seems like
I gotta start writing them all down.
It seems like every time I talk to you, it's something different, and you're just like, "Oh, synchronicities." And the crazy thing is, like, I have stuff happen to me too. Like I was telling you with my numbers, I see a lot of numbers at work when I'm writing my production numbers down and stuff. And
yeah, follow them, man. I had a few people tell me that follow the synchronicities.
Yeah.
And the more that you look for them, the more you see them. I don't know if they increase, or it's just that you're more aware, and you'll start to see ones that are just so. It's like 1 in a million chance, like that orb flashing and Rob messaging me at the same exact time. In fact, I just for him earlier,
Yep.
That's 1 in a million chance. You know what I mean? And shit happens like that to me almost every day now. I really do need to start writing them down. It doesn't even surprise me that much anymore whenever they happen.
Which is crazy. Yeah, man. I mean, if you think about it, that'd be awesome to write them down.
Dude, last night, Space Radio, me and you were talking yesterday on the live chat about the Israeli guy, the space chief over there in Israel, the one who was on his deathbed and said that there was, all these alien species in contact.
Yeah.
We were talking about that yesterday live. As soon as I clicked Space Radio last night, I mean, literally, as soon as I cut it on, that's who they were talking about. That tricked me out. And then your reading last night, man, dude, that was crazy.
Oh, my reading, dude. Yeah. When I was driving home from work, I listened to it twice.
Yeah.
That was spot on.
Yeah, me and you were about that same. I mean, as soon as she said that, I was like, "Oh man, she's spot on." Just the conversation we just had that day. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Got Papa Willie in here, man. What's going on, dude?
Did you say you had a video, one of those videos I recorded that you were gonna play?
Yeah, let's go ahead and play. I think if I bring us yep, there it is.
I apologize for the quality.
Yeah, guys, he had to record. He was going to try to send me these from his phone, but he we're just going to blame the government.
It wouldn't let me share anything. Every time I try to share, it just that error popped up. I don't
Yep.
know what happened.
So yeah, he had to record it on another phone from a phone.
Definitely there.
Oh yeah, I see it. Gotta see
It's
it.
much brighter.
That's amazing.
Oh, we got another one here as well.
Are you able to zoom in at all?
We're at.
No, because it's taken in like a portrait mode, so I can't. And this is like a shared. I don't have really any control over this. Let's see. Yeah, it's already in full screen layout.
Okay. I mean, you could still see they're moving, and you could see them stop and change directions in some of those videos. You tell they're intelligent.
Yeah, see if I mean, I already believe it 100%, but that would just really
Had to
cement it in.
pop straight in.
That was glowing orange with the other.
It just popped in.
I had right whenever I started recording this video, two of them popped in.
Dude, there's another one. I mean, I see the one he's pointing at with the laser, but there's one to the left, like the top left of the screen.
Yeah, they were everywhere, man. It was always.
Oh yeah, I see it.
I was losing count.
Gotta see it.
It's much brighter.
That's amazing.
So there's more than one at a time that.
Yes, dude, we got two of them following, two of them going together. In one of those videos I sent you, you'll hear me say it that there's another one following it. I mean, that's how did that happen? You can't say all those are satellites.
Yeah, satellites don't chase each other
Just pop straight in.
and stop moving.
Orange where the other one was glowing white. This one here.
That's incredible.
See it, John?
Yes, I do. Yeah, it's amazing.
See the orange with both the camera and the Honey!
Oh, I need more coffee.
You still on that one? The laser?
Yes.
Just looking for a change of direction or a stop. Could you stop for us?
Wow. That one was
Did it just
stopped.
stop?
Yeah, it did stop.
It was totally stopped, and then it moved again.
Sure.
Hold on. All right, compare it to that other star that's to the right of it.
Yeah, it
Comes
stopped.
up.
It just stopped.
That's crazy. That just proves they're intelligent, man.
Dude, you don't know how good it felt for me to finally get these things on video. And then the next thing I get another one on video at my house.
All right, I'm gonna have to look for that video that you sent me from your. Oh, do you? If you, now that you've thought more about it, that one that you saw from your patio, do you think that one was an orb, or do you?
Yeah, I definitely do. Because of the fact that well, I mean, it popped up right where I was looking. It was orange and it was floating straight up. There was no blinking, but I didn't get this on camera, but I ran around to the front of my balcony or the front of my apartment to try to get it on video again. It was completely gone. I mean, you can see in the video it's moving really slow. And there's no blinking whatsoever. I think there's actually an airplane underneath it in that video, and you can see it blinking. But the orb, and I mean, it's not a good quality video at all, but that's another one at Chris's house.
Papa Willie wanted to know if you were the one recording this or if somebody else had it.
Yeah, I was recording these.
Yep, these are at Chris Bledsoe's house.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's me talking right there.
Keep that camera real still. Don't move the camera with the object. Let the object move across the frame.
Oh yeah. Okay.
When it gets to the edge of the frame, you can move to track it.
Okay.
But only move to keep it in front. Otherwise, you can't see what it's doing. Oh, there's another with it.
Man.
Oh, it just materialized.
See it?
Yeah.
Behind it, more faint.
I need to go out there.
Yeah.
So do his I mean, you don't have to be on his property to see this stuff, right? Like his neighbors can walk out and see this stuff.
That's well, I mean, he's like a little ice. He's got a little piece of land. It's kind of got some wooded area around him. But I think about that all the time. Like, if he's seeing this stuff, can people like miles away see it, or is it like
Is it like his house is a portal?
I don't know. See, I thought about it too. I've got a family member who was doubting it, and they're like, "Well, if they're seeing that in the sky, can't everybody in the city see it?" I don't know. Think about like Skinwalker Ranch, where they say that like specific people will have an experience, and then a person right next to them may have a totally separate experience. So is it like they tune into your frequency and like you're the one seeing it? That's something that I'm still trying to figure out. Because I mean, they look like they're up. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they're like all the way up there in space with the stars, or if they're like just closer in the atmosphere. I have no idea. That's something I'm still trying to figure out, to be honest.
Now check this out real quick. I haven't looked into this at all, but I just searched this real quick.
Yeah.
This was last night. Incredibly bright meteor traveling at 33,000 miles an hour lit up the night sky over North Carolina.
Okay, that might be what was in that video with Kristen. But the pinkish thing now, that was something totally different.
And I'm not saying that just because it is a confirmed meteor that it doesn't have any connection to Chris or what he was seeing, because
or that pinkish orb thing. I mean, look at the direction that it was going. It looked like it was going straight towards that meteor. There's a connection. I know there is. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe, I mean, you saw how it got super bright. Maybe that orb stopped that meteor from making a big impact. I have no idea.
Yeah, that could have been it could have been a lot worse, or if it hit in a different direction or a different angle, maybe it could have been way, way worse, and the orb saved it from killing us.
I want to say something so bad. I need to call Chris in because he was. I gotta keep my mouth shut. I don't want to get in trouble. There is something else to that whole with that orb and that meter, and I don't even know all the details around it, but I know that there's more to it.
All right, we're calling Chris. We're getting Chris on the phone. Here we go. 999. Here we go.
I still got to get. I've got to talk to him more about it. I don't know the full story. I just know there was a reason that he was on the phone with the person that he was talking to. I know that, and I just know more information. I don't want to say it because I don't know if I'm supposed to, and because I don't know all the details behind it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want you to say too much on here and regret it later, but I'm going to pull up this other video. Let's see. 665, I think, was where we left off. We already watched this one? No, I don't think so. I need a laser pointer.
Yeah, this laser badass, man.
Are they reacting to the laser pointer at all? Or is he just using it to point them out?
No, they react to him sometimes. I mean, I believe that they react to him sometimes. There's a couple of times that we hit them with the lasers and they stop like as soon as we hit them.
Okay,
I could be wrong, but I feel like they do.
Well, that's amazing. I need to buy one then, just in case I ever see one.
Oh, there's another one following it. It's a lot more faint. It's right behind it.
That's what I was saying before, right behind it. For all these satellite guys, how do you describe that?
You see the second one?
Just popping up.
Oops, I screwed up. There we go. Yeah, it's cool when they line up and make a triangle. I keep seeing the triangles when they line up. Like there's one.
A couple of them just popping up.
Yeah, satellites don't do that.
No. I'll be honest, when I first started seeing these videos a month or two ago on wherever I saw them, they weren't from you, but I can't remember who was sharing them. I was like, those are probably satellites.
Yeah, but when you see like over 15 to 20 of them in an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm 100% sold now. Now that I know the fan, like not know the family, but when I've listened to the podcast, it seems that you feel like you know them.
Yeah.
But and then talking to you, and you've been over there, and it's like I'm 100%. I know now.
No, I have no reason to lie about any of this stuff. Like, yeah, I
No.
told you yesterday, I was never even interested in UFOs or paranormal or anything. I mean, I've always loved sci-fi and you know comic book movie, like that type of stuff. But
Hmm.
I believe that we're not alone in the universe. I always thought for sure there's got to be life out there, but I didn't really think it was here already. Even
Yeah.
though I did always feel like something was really off, especially with a lot of anomalies in history, like just the pyramids and the Nazca lines and all this crazy shit around the world. And then the pyramid in Antarctica, man, that blew my mind when I first heard about that. And not many people even talk about it, man. People are saying, "Oh, it's a natural anomaly." Are you fucking kidding me, man? Dude, it's perfect lined up with the Earth's compass, north, east, south, and west, just like these other pyramids, and it's on fucking Antarctica. Who has ever lived on Antarctica that we know about? That made me thinking maybe Antarctica is like the original Atlantis. I mean, I have no idea, or it could be the whole Hollow Earth thing that they talk about, like Admiral Byrd. I can't remember his name. Ben and Joe were telling me about that, about the admiral that said he went to Antarctica and found Hollow Earth.
Richard
Actually,
Bird.
yeah,
Richard E. Bird.
that's crazy, crazy fucking story, man.
Yeah, I need to look more into that where he took a trip down there. Oh, you know what? I've seen his plane. His plane is somewhere that I've been. It's at the Henry Ford Museum or something like that.
No, really.
Yeah, I need to look more into that. But
Yeah, I heard that they like whenever they went in there, I think there was like these structures that looked like they were made out of crystal or some shit like that. I might be a little off, but I know they said that there was like ships flying everywhere, like fucking UFOs.
yeah.
Maybe think, maybe these beings are living in the earth. Who knows? They could be living in the earth, in the ocean, in the moon. Who fucking knows? Really, I have no idea.
I'm gonna try to share this screen of the pyramid real quick. It's taken me 10 years to figure out how to do this, but window, pyramid, boom. Need to get faster at doing that, but
Yes, man, and come on, it's perfect fucking pyramid. It's
this even
ridiculous.
looks like it might be something like a secondary one. That's huge though, and how I'd like to hear somebody explain how that's natural.
Yeah, and it's perfect, and
Any kind of mountain like that protrudes up like that's from like plate tectonics and stuff, and the land mass moving up. How does it move up in a perfect pyramid?
yeah, and what really got me was the alignment with um the Earth's compass. That when I saw that, I was like, yeah, and it looks like it's got like where ice and stuff and shit's solidified on around it, so it doesn't. Oh, it doesn't look like the other pyramids, but just the fact that it's lined up perfectly with the Earth's compass, man, that sold me. I don't see
Yeah,
any explanation.
right. I think we still have a couple more videos here. Let's see. I was at 665, I think.
I still got the shadow
Oh,
person
that's
too. Don't let me
amazing.
forget about that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull that up. The one that I was talking about on the Instagram, on Ryan's Instagram. I'll pull that up while this is playing.
Oh, that's amazing.
So keep that camera real still. Don't
I
move
think
the
we did see
camera
this
with the
one.
object. Let the object move
Okay,
across the
I'm glad
frame.
you were paying
All
attention.
right. Okay.
Gets the
665. Share video.
I actually got a lot of those videos. I don't even think I sent you all of those, but I mean, they're all pretty much the same thing. But the fact that you can see them stop, that's what to
Yeah,
me proves
yeah.
that they're intelligent.
Any kind of stopping or changing directions, I could watch those all day.
You need to get to change directions.
that's what we really want to see is a change of brightness or a change of direction.
Oh, it's going behind that tree.
Okay, so I pulled up. Let's see here. Trying to find the original picture of it standing in the woods before Tom DeLonge edited it. Oh, here it is right here. Okay. So I'm going to try to get faster at doing this. There's got to be a faster way to pull up all these windows, but so this is the picture that was taken. I'll just read. It says, "This is an authentic photo of an entity captured on my property." This is Ryan. "The dark black form is not a visible person, but something that appeared in the photo after it was uploaded to the computer."
You mean that thing that
This-
looks like a black person right there?
Yeah, this right here. Have you seen this before?
God, it gives me chills.
You haven't seen this before, dude?
Not this picture, no, but I've seen something in real life that's really similar. God, oh, it gives me fucking
Okay,
chills.
this is gonna freak you out then, because when I first saw this, the edited picture, okay. Okay, so here's the picture that was taken, and that was not in, like, they weren't standing in front of an orb. Oh yeah, this orb down here too, that wasn't part of real life either.
So that's an orb. Wow.
Yeah, this orb right here on the bottom, that wasn't there either when they took the picture. So all they did, I guess there's a woman standing here.
I think so. It might be.
But
Might be
yeah,
right.
someone said, just to be clear, the dark human looking shadow is the entity, and you guys didn't see it in person at all. And Ryan said, correct. Okay, so there's that picture. Then Tom DeLonge actually took his picture and edited it.
Whoa. Oh, that's fucking freaky. Dude. The eyes. Oh my gosh.
I mean, you are looking at an eye here, an eye here.
I don't know if I like the shadow people, man. That's kind of it's freaky, man. I've seen one. The one I saw was only like 3 or 4 foot tall, man. But
I still don't know if I get like a negative feeling from them.
Me either.
It still feels like it's a. What's that?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it still feels like it's non-threatening. I don't know why I get that feeling from it, but
yeah. So I've got mixed feelings about it. I still don't know what to think. There was one night where actually this was the same night. Do you remember I showed you the email where I had the premonition? It was like a dream, dream coming true, and a synchronicity. The dream I had where the girl made the comment, and then the next morning I woke up and what she said was the name, the phrase that she said was the name of a song that popped up on my YouTube feed the very next morning. I play that song and I see an orb. The orb flashes, and I emailed this to my MUFON investigator. I showed you screenshots. I even used the girl's name that I saw in my dream that I hadn't seen in like over 10 years. And then yeah, what she said something about lazy eye. She made a joke. We're back in a high school party in my dream. She's like, Josh, why did you say I had lazy eye? Something about like smoking weed and her eye, not lazy eye like that. But anyway, so a song called Lazy Eye by I can't remember the name of the band. But I played a song, I see the orb flashes. Then 3 weeks later, after this dream, same girl that I hadn't seen in almost 10 years, over 10 years, she randomly calls me and she had a near death experience. You remember I showed you these, then I showed you the email screenshots of this?
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, even if I hadn't seen this girl, even if I had seen this girl, how would I have known that she was going to have a near death experience?
Right.
Well, on top of that, and I don't talk about this a lot because I don't like thinking about it. I still don't know what to think about the shadow people thing. The same day that girl called me, the girl who had the near death experience, that night, I went to go lay down and I saw a shadow person. And I had never even heard of a shadow being before. But like 10 minutes before, I started getting this feeling that I don't know, I just felt really, I don't know, say sad. Like I felt hurt, almost like I'd lost a loved one or something. And then it started kind of really getting to me because I was sitting there thinking, I'm having random premonitions,
like empathy.
But I was sitting there getting worried, like, am I feeling, that like somebody I love is about to pass away? Like, what is this? I was getting really upset, and I didn't know why, and I was starting to get paranoid that I was actually having a premonition about somebody, passing away or something.
Hmm.
Well, when I go lay down in my bed that night, and this was before I got my new roommate, I saw in my peripheral shadow person walk through my living room into my kitchen. And I mean, dude, it looked like that photo that you saw, man. So it kind of freaked me out a little bit. But I mean, it wasn't like a shadow on a wall. It was like a solid, kind of solidish. Yeah, you did spooky. But it looked like the size of a child. Like it was like 3 or 4 foot tall. And
Hmm.
I don't know if that thing came because I was feeling upset, or if that's what made me feel that negative. I don't know if it was something trying to comfort me, and maybe it's not something evil at all, or if it was, evil. And see, I have no idea. I
Man, I
need to
don't know.
look.
I feel like if you're in a good headspace and these things are already what's that word? I can't say relevant. Yeah, like if they're already being cool with you and then they show up in a time like that, it's almost like they're like, "Hey, they're comforting you. Like, hey, we're here in case you need us. If you need somebody to talk to, we're here." I don't
Yeah,
know.
and
It's
then
just the feeling I get from it.
yes, it spooked me out. To be honest, that night I couldn't get to sleep for a good while that night. But I was thinking a lot about that, and I was thinking about how I've heard from people that I don't know. I've heard from people that the shadow people might not be evil. That some of them, it really might be like a cloaking kind of thing where um I don't know. Like this is what Chris told me. I'm just going to say because I don't know how to say it. So he experiences these light beings. He's seen shadow people before, and he said that what he believes is that they're wearing some type of cloak to keep themselves from blinding you, or to, I guess, to hide the light from I don't know how to explain it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, maybe they're not evil at all. I have no idea. I need to look more into shadow people, or if anybody watching this knows anybody or anything about it, maybe they can let me know.
Yeah, in Chris's regression, he said that the 4-foot ones that are in front of him were like the kids. And
Yeah,
then when he was taken and he saw the larger ones that are like 7 foot plus, those are like the older, more like
yeah.
I'm trying to think of the word he used. Like they're the elders, maybe. That's not the word he used, but kind of like
Guard.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he called them guardians before, but yeah, he said those were the more mature or more age. Yeah, he said that the younger ones they had to get to like Chris Jr. said he's been told that I think they have to get like 700 years of maturity before they're able to be outside of those glass skin things, whatever it was that he said. I don't know how to explain it. It's weird. I
can
don't
I
know
go
how
out
to
and play with the humans? Not until you're 700 years old. Okay, we talked about this. You're only 690 right now. That's so crazy to think about. Like we're on such a it's just such a macro scale. We're barely even here on this planet.
Yeah,
In our
yeah.
80,
I mean,
90 years.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I think it's just like a training ground for our soul, to be
I've
honest.
used that word before, man.
Really?
Yeah, I've always felt that I'm here. It's like a trial period, or not even like a. Yeah, I guess I have used that word before. Like
To
this is a
advance.
trial.
I think that too. Man, I've heard people say that we make like I don't know if it's just like the star seed thing. I don't know if you've heard of star seeds or if
Yeah,
it's everything, but that like people make like soul contracts before they come into this world. And I guess, like your memory is erased whenever you get here. You don't remember anything from before, but you come here or maybe specific people come here and they have a specific purpose. Um,
hmm.
or like specific people might know a certain thing is destined to happen in their life. Like take for example, like my car accident. Like say if that were to be me, maybe I could have came into this life and I knew that I was going to go through something really difficult, like almost dying in that car accident. And being in a coma and going through all that shit. Because I went through some really dark periods of my life, after that car accident. I'm not
Do you,
gonna lie. Sorry, go ahead.
do you have a cigarette lit right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah.
I saw something go in front of your face when you were saying that.
Yeah,
It was smoke. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
The whole
man.
soul.
Do you think that you are? Do you think you are a starseed like that?
I've been told that I was. I'm not gonna lie. I've thought about it. I think maybe. I had my MUFON investigator has told me she very firmly believes that I am. Um, I can't remember her name. There's this MUFON investigator from like Australia or something like that. She actually posted something on her Facebook with my name in it. And my investigator has my permission to do it, and because she thinks I'm a starseed, or I guess, or I told
Yeah.
what happened. I told my investigator. She asked how I felt about all this when I first started experiencing it, and we got into a really deep conversation. I told her I have this deep feeling like I have some kind of mission that I'm supposed to be doing. I just don't know what it is, and I don't. Maybe you can relate to that, man.
I can.
Um,
That's
you know,
crazy. Yeah.
maybe you are one. I mean, I don't know. I didn't even know about star seeds at the time. That's uh that's how I learned. I was telling her, and she was getting really interested in me talking. She's like, "What do you mean you think you have a mission?" I'm telling her, like, I don't know. Like, as soon as I started realizing this whole UFO thing was real, and then I started seeing orbs myself, it's like I've been drawn to it. And even a few times whenever I tried to get away from it because I, started doubting myself and doubting what I was seeing, I thought I was going crazy. It's like the synchronicities and stuff just start pulling me back into it. And I got this feeling like I don't know, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know how to explain it. And yeah, man, I'll be honest, I do believe that if I'm not a star seed, I'm definitely supposed to be doing something, or maybe I am
Yeah.
a star.
I can totally relate to that, man. I think I've even told people that before, that I feel like I'm here for a reason.
I think you should be, man.
Dude, Papa Willie's comment just shot goosebumps down my spine.
What's that?
I didn't know that he had died before, but he just came right out with that. When I died, they told me I couldn't get in, that it wasn't my time yet, or it wasn't time for me yet. Maybe I haven't fulfilled my contract yet. Dude, I have a friend, his name's Steven, and he doesn't hide anything. This guy, he'll tell you anything you want to know. He'd probably even tell you his social security number if you asked him for it. This guy he has nothing to hide. Um, he doesn't get embarrassed about anything. He'll just tell you whatever you want to know. And he had a near death experience. Actually, he died. He did die. His heart stopped, and they had to bring him back. And he told me after that wherever he went to was the most beautiful, like, angelic, unbelievable place he's ever been to. He did not want to come back here. And he said that he has zero fear of dying now. And because he knows that when he leaves here again, that he's going to go back to that place.
I can
And
relate.
yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not freaky, thinking about death, but I know that this isn't all there is. I know that we go somewhere else. Um, the guy I was with at Chris's house, the one who had the laser pointer in those videos, he was real interested in my near-death experience because, I mean, thinking about this, they say that so many of these people who have these experiences, sightings or whatever it is, they have some kind of near-death experience or some kind of trauma in their life. Just like some kind of trauma just activates some kind of awareness or something like that. But there's millions of people who had near-death experiences who don't see these things, don't have anything paranormal, or don't see any sightings. But why is it that most of the people that have sightings, I think they said it was like 85% or something like that, people, I could be wrong, but the people who have these experiences, they've all had some kind of trauma or near-death experience. So, like, what is the relationship of like death to this paranormal and this UFO stuff? I
yeah.
think it's like not so much that you're smarter than somebody else, but maybe just gives you this new sense of awareness. I don't know how to explain it really.
Wow,
But
Papa Willie. Yeah, he said in 2013 he crashed a motorcycle and died 6 times in 8 days and was in a coma for a month.
oh wow, oh, he's got me beat. I was in a coma for a week. God, I bet he had more time walking for
Yeah.
moving period. I mean, my body got mangled up, but when I woke up after a week, I was so, my body was just so out of it and just so weak that I couldn't even push the button to give myself the medicine, the morphine. Like that's how weak I was. They literally had to tape the morphine drip or fentanyl drip, whatever, on my forearm so that I could just bend my arm up a little bit and then it would push the button to give myself medicine.
Wow.
Yeah. Um,
Man, I wonder
yeah.
if it's like once you go into that realm, you're like synced up, like your frequencies are synced up better. And
Yeah.
because you've already been there once. So then, man, now I want to ask my friend Steven if he's ever seen anything after that. Like I don't know. He's not really the type of person that would even pay attention to the sky. He's probably partying most of the time when it's dark. But
Well, it could be something paranormal as well. Because,
yeah,
I mean, it's connected, man. Like, I found that out quick. It's not just things in the sky. And I've been trying to tell a couple of my family members this that I start opening up to because I found out a couple of my family members have had experiences. All you
Hmm.
gotta do is look at Skinwalker Ranch or look at Bledsoe. It's like it is not just things in the sky, it's paranormal shit too. There's poltergeist shit happens at, Skinwalker stuff. Chris Bledsoe's had all kinds of weird things, like things moving and weird I'm not gonna say poltergeist because with Chris it's more benevolent where it's more like a trickster over there at Skinwalker Ranch. But it's all connected to me in some way. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like angels and or ghosts, spirits, UFOs, all this shit it's somehow connected in some weird metaphysical way. That's just my
I've
opinion.
always I've always thought the same thing. Like, um, I've always thought that religion is all the same. Like religion and ghosts and aliens, and I feel like everything is connected in one like network of something we just don't understand yet.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, dude, like whatever these beings are, I think they're so consciously they're more advanced
Yeah.
consciously. They're probably more connected with that spirit that runs through everything. I mean, dude, this life is not all there is. I know that. I just when um when I had that near death experience, I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like I think me and you talked about this. Like I felt okay with it. Like I mean, I was stuck in this car. I was mangled. My jaw was shattered. I'd spit out a couple of my teeth. I literally had this arm, and for people looking, I have a huge scar right here. I have a titanium rod in my arm, almost shattered. My thumb was almost cut off. I have 3 metal plates in my jaw. I had a little fracture in my spine that barely missed a what do you call it, vertebrae. I was almost paralyzed from that. I mean, they said it could have just
Man.
been like not even an inch, like just a couple of centimeters down. I would have been paralyzed. And I broke my leg. Um, had this external fixator, and I'll have to send you a screenshot sometimes of me in the coma.
You didn't
But
break your leg, man. That asshole that hit you broke your leg.
yeah, yeah, and my foot was almost torn completely off, and because my feet were out the window, so this truck hit me, and when it flipped over, about took off my foot. But you know this already. If my feet would have been inside the vehicle instead of out the passenger window, I would have lost both my legs, and I would have lost my life more than likely because the glove compartment was pushed all the way up against me. But I mean, I'm stuck like a pretzel in this car. I have one arm pushed all the way up here like this, and both my knees are pulled up to my chest. My family, all of my family, my mother, my father, my sister, brother-in-law, bunch of people, they all watched for over an hour as they were cutting me out. My mom said she would see me cough and there'd be like a cloud of blood, just it was, I don't know, I can't imagine how they felt to have to sit there and watch me be cut out this vehicle.
No,
But I
man.
remember, and we were not even 100 yards, 150 yards from pulling up into the driveway of my friend's house where we were going. We're almost home, and I don't know, like
150 yards.
No, not 150 to 100 yards.
Oh,
It wasn't that far. Yeah, we were so
still.
close. My friend's parents, they were outside cooking stuff on the grill. The truck drove by and they heard it hit us, and they thought the truck hit the bridge. They run down to the driveway, down to the mailbox, and they see their vehicle. Their son, my friend, was driving, and they run down there, find their son and their daughter and me in this car. Mangled up and almost killed. But I got the worst of it. I was the one that was pinned in because the truck hit on my side. But my best friend, when he was telling me, like, we're gonna get you out here, it's gonna be okay. I really remember just thinking to myself, like, it's kind of like I was accepting it. I don't know how to explain it, but I remember telling Kevin, like, God, I didn't mean to say his name. Well, no, it's okay. Never mind. I don't want to say his name about something else. But everybody that I know knows he was in that near death experience with me. But
Yeah.
I told him, I said, like, no, I think this is it. And I remember that look in his face, like I could see that fear. And he told me his mother about fainting when I said that, apparently. But it's like I was just okay with it. I was like accepting it. And
Did
before then, I didn't even know
when
if I
did you,
believed it. Sorry.
when did you say that to him?
When I was in the car, when I was stuck, but like before the paramedics or anybody even got there, like as soon as I woke up, the first thing I remember doing was like waking up, and took me a minute to realize what was going on. I only remember like little pieces, but I remember those pieces perfectly. But it kind of feels like a dream. But I remember spitting out a couple of my teeth, and then Kevin, like telling me, like, Josh, we're gonna get you out of here. It's gonna be okay. And I just remember thinking and like looking at, like just seeing how mangled up I was from what I could see. I remember thinking in my head, like, this is it. Like, I'm not going to get out of this. But I wasn't screaming. I wasn't crying. I wasn't freaking out or panicking. I was just calm. I didn't feel any pain. Like, my whole body, my pain receptors just shut down, I guess. But it's really like I was just accepting it. And I remember, like, before then, this happened in 2010, this accident. Before then, I didn't even know if I believed in God. Um, when that happened, I remember thinking to myself, like, what's about to happen? Like, what's about to happen? Is it going to go black? Is everything just going to shut off? And I don't know. I got this feeling like, this isn't it. And I don't feel like I'm a horrible person where I'm going to suffer and go to hell after I die. That wasn't what I was feeling. I just felt like whatever was going to happen, it was going to be okay. And
Yeah.
I told my friend that. I said, I'm not going to make it. Or I told him, I said, I think this is it. And he started panicking. And I told him, I was like, it's okay. And I don't know how to explain it, man. It's just like I was accepting it, but they ended up getting out. When they pulled me out, this is a little graphic. I don't want to get too much detail, but I do remember when they actually popped open. They used the jaws of life. Whenever they actually pulled me out after an hour and a half of me, bleeding to death in this car, mangled up. I remember looking down and my toes were pointing completely behind me. My
Yeah.
foot was on. It was bad.
I remember you telling me that. That's Man, I don't know. I just had this image in my head. This is kind of dark. It's a little dark sided, but back when ISIS was doing its thing and those videos were popping up on the internet, and there's like a guy standing there in just a black robe and he's about to be beheaded.
Yeah, I saw that.
I've
I didn't see that.
I've always wondered if when people are going through that, when they know that the end is coming, are they also feeling the same numbness that you were feeling? Like, does whatever is in charge take all that fear away? Or do you actually have to experience all that fear before you're taken? I mean,
I
that's
think
kind of big,
I
but
I think everybody's. I think it's about your state of mind and where your soul is at. Because in my opinion, like your conscience, that's your soul. Like I think each one of us, our conscious energy, that's like a piece of the universe that's in this vessel. And I feel like every moment of time that we go through, like every second, it's almost like it's seasoning or like marinating. Like your soul. And every second that you go, that's your soul is being conditioned to, I mean, like every point in time that you've been through, Chad, has made you who you are right now. You know what I'm saying? Like literally,
yeah,
even the little tiny things that you don't think make a difference. And I think whenever a person's like facing death, like how they say your whole life flashes before your eyes,
Yeah.
I think that's when you like have that moment, like whenever you realize, did I do things in my life that I regret? Am I okay that this is about to be it? And like at that moment in my life, I felt like, no, I'm not a perfect person, but I feel like, I feel like I'm a good enough person where I'm going to go to a better place or something better is going to happen or whatever happens next, whether it's, reincarnation or going to another level of existence or, but I think if a person is like, done a lot of fucked up things in their life, and then they're facing death, they probably, it's probably the opposite, they probably start getting filled with regret and, they have that epiphany like, I've been screwing up and doing horrible things my whole life. And
Oh
I think
yeah.
about the law of conservation of energy, how they say that energy can't be created or destroyed, only turned into another form of energy. I think maybe like wherever your soul is at, like however you've been conditioned to be, who you are in that moment, whenever you die, I feel like maybe that determines what happens after you leave this earth. I'm just theorizing stuff here.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, and I think about, they say if it can't be created or destroyed, only turned to another form of energy, then that means that we had to have been something else before we came here as well. That's what makes me think about that starseed thing,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, when you
'cause
said that everything that I've ever experienced makes me who I am now, that goes all the way back to anyone that's ever lived that has something to do with my bloodline. So there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people that have had to do everything right just for me and you to be sitting here right now.
exactly. Yeah,
Like no birth defects, no getting eaten by a lion, everything had to line up perfectly just so that we could have this conversation. So
yeah, yeah. Think about something could have went different for you one day that made you never interested in UFOs. I mean, just one little
yeah.
thing. I
Something
think
could
about
have gone wrong back in 1885 with my great 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 grandfather. It's just crazy how stuff lines up, man.
Yeah, I think about that butterfly effect thing all the time.
Mhm.
So like, so yeah, like just like you said, man. One day, dude, I took this big sheet of paper and I started writing down what you were saying, all the things that had to happen a certain specific way for me to be exactly where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And I think that car accident was the most horrible thing that ever happened to me. But that car accident led to me going through some really dark periods in my life. I went through like depression. I fought addiction to painkillers for a while because doctors were just shoving painkillers down my throat. It was
Yep.
all this horrible shit. But like you said, it led to one certain thing happening. Led to I'm not married anymore, but my ex-wife. The reason I met my ex-wife is because she was a volunteer firefighter. Her and her father were. They were at the car accident that day. They saw me get cut out of the car.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, my ex-wife, she was actually up at the stop sign directing traffic because she was really young. She was only a teenager at the time. But I started this new job after little while after the car accident. And then I meet this girl, find out she was there the day of my wreck. I felt like in that moment, I felt like, oh, this is meant to be. But me and her got married, but I ended up joining the fire department for 4 years, and that I had to leave the fire department because me and her split up. I don't want to get into details, but my ex father-in-law was the chief of the department I was on. So whenever me and her split up, I left the department. But I'm
Yeah.
extremely grateful for that time on the fire department. Even though a lot of people will tell me, why would you put yourself in a position to see, really horrible things that I don't want to talk about because I saw some difficult things while I was on the department. But I loved helping people and feeling like I was giving back. And I would think about, these, people, first responders saved me when I was in my wreck. So for me to be a first responder and be able to help other people felt like I was giving back. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like one thing led to another, just like you were saying. After me and her, I went to my divorce. I ended up this specific thing happened and that happened. But if everything wouldn't have happened the way that it did, I wouldn't be in Wilmington right now. And if I wouldn't be in Wilmington, I don't want to get too much into detail, but I wouldn't have gotten into this whole UFO subject.
Yeah. Man, it's a
So I'm
lot to
about
take in.
man, my head starts kind of scrambling trying to think about that whole butterfly effect thing.
Yeah, it's completely understandable because you can keep going down rabbit holes with that.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's so many things to take in. This has been a crazy episode.
Yeah, sorry, man. I'm you know how I am. My ADD kicks in sometimes, and I start thinking about shit, and I start branching off here, man. It's almost like whenever you see the boards and they got the strings going everywhere, you know, like so I feel like my head does sometimes. Then
Yeah. Yeah, have you seen that picture where it's like your brain on psilocybin and it's two circle pictures or two circles and they have different. Oh, you haven't seen that?
I think so.
I definitely have to pull that up then. Your brain on silent P psilocybin.
So, man, I haven't talked to you about the orb I saw in my bedroom when I
Oh
was
yeah,
talking
you
to
brought
you.
that up and then I didn't hear anything more about it.
Yeah, I was still absorbing it or like letting it soak in. I was talking to my investigator, Sev, while it happened, and it was in this room right here, and it was in the corner. It looked like a little tiny flicker of light, and it went up like a kind of like an S. And when it did, it looked like little pieces of light sparked off of it for a minute. And I mean to tell you, I embarrassed myself. Like I was on the phone, I just started doing a Zoom meeting with my investigator, Seb,
Mm-hmm.
and I just fucking chair. Like, I mean, she saw me. I just jumped up. Oh fuck! Like jumped out, and she's like, "Josh, what's wrong? What is it? What is it?" I come over here, and I mean, dude, I started questioning myself. I'm telling her like, "Oh my god, like maybe my eyes are just playing tricks on me." And she's like, "No, Josh, they won't." Yeah, and that was the day after I left Chris's house. Yeah,
Oh man. She's like, nope, just welcome to the world that you're in now.
yeah,
You're being
and
indoctrinated.
and that was the same night that I got that orb one video off my back balcony, the orange one that floated up. Same fucking night.
Man. Supposedly this is your brain on the right hand side, your brain on magic mushrooms, and then left is how it just normally is.
Oh man, I believe it.
It makes a whole bunch of different connections.
I believe it, man. I definitely do. I I think that's why like back in the 70s or whatever, whenever all the hallucinogenics and stuff, like the hippies, it was getting big. I think that's why they did that whole war on drugs thing, because the government knew that it had, potential to wake up people or, unlock, untap parts of your mind.
Yeah. Dude, we got to get Papa Willie on here. He's got all kinds of stuff to say.
Yeah, really.
There's always hidden things to be thankful for in situations like this. I think he was referring to the car accident and the near-death experience and stuff. But
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
did I tell you that I felt like I could feel my feet better when I took mushrooms? You felt like you could feel your feet better? That's awesome, dude. You could probably feel everything better, right? Doesn't it make everything a lot more sensitive?
I've only done that a couple of times, but
Yeah.
one time I did, it was pretty amazing, to be honest. I felt like, I don't know, I felt like I was in sync with nature. I don't know how to explain it.
No,
Like,
I know exactly what you mean. Have you done them like when you did them? Or did you do like a large dose or was it like a micro dose?
no, I did a pretty good size dose. I
I
didn't
don't.
hallucinate or anything like that, but I mean, I felt like the wind, like the wind that was hitting my body, man. It felt like I was a part of it. I don't know, man. It was weird. I don't know how to explain it.
I'm sorry, Pop Willie. I totally forgot the significance that you could feel your feet. I forgot that you were paralyzed, but yeah, that's
That's
amazing. I forgot all about that.
that's incredible.
Yeah, he brought that up on the last podcast.
Hey, Paul Willie, that's really amazing and synchronistic, because the guy I was just talking about, Rob, earlier at the beginning of the podcast, the one I said I prayed for, and when I got home from Chris's house, I saw the orb pop up in the cloud. I told you he messaged me and said that he had a sighting. He said that he felt a tingling sensation. I don't know if it was in his spine or in his legs, but after he saw that orb, he said he felt like it was tingling. He said it's something that he normally doesn't ever experience. So I mean, I don't know, how to take that, but it made me think about that whenever he said it.
Yeah. I guess I could have just asked you, Fat, but when you said you overdosed? Like, do you mean medically overdosed? Like you died, or did you just have crazy experiences? Man, I
Are
don't
you
even
talking?
know where to go. No, Fap said that he grew his own mushrooms and overdosed.
Oh, I didn't notice you could overdose on mushrooms.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
know. I mean, I know you can die if you eat the wrong mushrooms, so I don't know if that's what he meant. Like he
wow.
one with the universe, Joshua. Oh, Eddie said something significant. Let me go back up here. Eddie.
That's how I felt whenever I did the shrooms. I felt like I was one with nature. That's not something I normally do. I can't really even get it around here. Um, I wish I could.
Well,
I
if we ever meet up, I'll bring some over. Might know where
oh,
to
yeah.
get some. Yeah, Eddie up here said at 11, I fell through the ice in a river and they sent me back. That's pretty cool too. So he went
What?
into the river through the ice and had a near death or had a what do you call that when you actually do die? It's not called a near death experience, right? When your heart
Um,
actually stops.
yeah, I think it is. It's called because I guess that would still be in your death experience because you didn't stay dead, you know. But
Yeah, you didn't stay dead. But yeah, that's pretty significant. That I mean, at age 11, they sent you back and knew that you had something more to learn. Man, I'm just thinking about that as I'm talking. Um, they must not have control over dust. Like they don't have control over what you do in your life, because if they did, they wouldn't send you or they wouldn't take you in the first place. I don't know. Maybe they would because it teaches you something.
I think we have free will. I think I mean you said a little bit about that yesterday. I think that maybe we come sorry, maybe we come in this reality and certain things are fate, like my car accident. And that's fate and that's gonna happen, you know, whether I like it or not. You know, I had no control over that happening, but the way I reacted after it happened, that was my decision. So I think that like um what determines I think our life is determined, our destiny is determined by how we respond when fate knocks at our door, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. Eddie says, I went to a warm and beautiful place. 3 men told me I couldn't stay. Okay, I need to have you on the show, dude. We got to have you on here. We got to talk.
Three, you know, there's a big significance in three. I've been told by a lot of people that things in threes, that's a big thing. And I was going to say earlier, I've only done, God, I shouldn't be saying this online, but oh well. I've never really been into hallucinates, but I have done them a couple of times, and there was once a ways back. I mean, this is like over 10 years ago, before I got to the Clarkson actually, and I I just found out also about people doing like DMT and acid stuff and actually seeing like entities and stuff. Like I heard Joe Rogan talking about it. Well, this is way do what?
I was going to say, I don't know if he saw a female entity, but he does talk about feeling a female presence when he is doing the DMT.
Oh, I saw one where he literally talked about being like this Mayan Aztec weird looking area, and he actually saw like this female looking energy, almost like a light beam type thing, but it was way different from what Chris explains. You know,
Yeah.
like this seemed like it had kind of like the what do you call it? The lights that you see in the sky over there. You know, with all the colors. I can't. What is the name of it?
Aurora.
The
Like Aurora Borealis. The
yeah, that
the green and blues.
Yeah, he described seeing a like kind of like a light beam that looked like it was the light that was that color. You know, like it looked like it was that kind of light, but it was in the shape of like a female entity. Grant Cameron also he just wrote a book, I believe, about
Northern Lights.
Yeah, Northern Lights. Grant Cameron just wrote a book about people, and I'm not promoting any drugs or any hallucinates to people listening to your decision, but about like, sorry, people doing these hallucinates and actually having experiences or seeing entities. And I would never believe that before, but I now know that. Excuse me. Sorry, just a second.
You're good.
Shit like remote viewing and stuff, it's real. And psychics, I totally believe that. I told you I've had random psychic premonitions that I don't claim to be a psychic, but I've had things happen that couldn't have been an accident. You know, it's just always random. But
Yeah.
if you can do stuff like make your conscience leave your body, or like astral projection, or like the government using remote viewing, and maybe whenever you do these hallucinates, your consciousness is like leaving, and that's how you can interact with these other entities. And like I said, I'm not promoting anybody to try to go do hallucinate, do acid so they see an alien or some shit like that. Well, I was going to say though, it was like 11, 12 years ago, something. It was before my accident. I did acid for like the first time, only time I've ever done it really. And I felt like it was like Doctor Strange, you know, when he's like flying through all the fucking dimensions and shit. It was like colors and shit everywhere. I couldn't see I remember looking for my hands, and the person I was with said that he saw me like doing like this at one point, but I couldn't see my hands. But it felt like I was there for hours, and apparently I was only, tripping for like not even a minute or two. Well, I kept seeing like a flash of three. I'm not gonna lie, just looked like alien beings, like looking down. It looks like they were watching me go through this trip. It's so fucking weird. But there's three beings. I don't know if they were like grays or what they were, but they were like in a circle, like just looking down at me, like as I was flying through this trip. And this was like a decade before I even believed in this alien stuff. And it was a couple months ago that this memory just resurfaced in my head. And now I'm looking at it totally different. Like, damn, what if that was, something?
Yeah. Man, Papa had a question here for you.
Yeah.
In your near-death experience, did things cast shadows? For me, the light seemed to come from the people and things. The light.
Things cast shadows.
Hmm.
I the memories I have of me being in the accident, it's like only like little pieces of memory. I don't know exactly what he means by things casting shadows. I will say whenever I woke up a week later in the hospital after I got out of coma, I don't. It might have just been the medication, but I was going through some crazy. I was seeing a lot of things that weren't there. And what's really weird is I would close my eyes, and I thought my eyes were still open because it's like I was in the room, in the hospital room, in bed, but there was things popping up, things that shouldn't have been there, and it didn't freak me out or anything. Like to me, I felt like nothing was out of the ordinary. For example, Emily, my best friend's little sister, she was in the car accident with us. She was in a coma as well for a week. She woke up the same day that I did. When I was in the hospital, I remember having a conversation with Emily, and she was standing right next to my bed. And I mean, dude, it's like she was literally right there, and she was talking to me for a minute, and then she walked out the door, and then my mom came in, and I started telling my mom about it, and my mom was like, "Josh, Emily's all the way in Duke," and I was like 3 hours away from where I'm at. I'm like, "What? Like, no, she's right here," and they're like, Josh, like Emily, like shattered her pelvic bone and broke all her ribs. Like she's going to be in a wheelchair, like you're going to be. I was in a wheelchair for 6 months. She was in a wheelchair for 4 months. But I mean, it's like she was right there. I mean, like I can remember everything she was wearing, the way her hair was, and that's just one example. But shit like that kept happening for like the whole month that I was, or first couple weeks of the month that I was in the hospital. I don't know if I was like in a half dream state or whatever, but the weird thing was I was still in the bed, like the hospital bed, and everything in the room was exactly like it was. There was just things in the room that shouldn't have been there. And a couple times it freaked me out because I did see this thing that looked almost like the Grim Reaper. And that really freaked me the fuck out. I have not thought about that actually until just now.
Man, I was I was just gonna ask you, has she ever told you about anything that she's experienced? Like, does she experience this kind of stuff too? Is she on the same wavelength?
Emily, I don't know, but I will say this. I hope he doesn't see this, but I mean, if he does, whatever. My best friend that was driving in that car accident in my near-death experience, he's the one that I was with when I had my very first UFO sighting. at the Cape Fear River.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. As far as Emily, I have no idea.
I'd be willing to bet that she sees stuff to this day that she can't explain.
Yeah, I think so too, to be honest.
Man, we're digging deep, folks. We're digging deep.
Yeah, now I found out from my same friend who I had this near-death experience. That wasn't even the only sighting that he's had. Something in the sky. He said that he was around Fort Bragg one day, and there was two balls of light that came down. Maybe this was connected to Chris Bledsoe. I have no idea. He does know Chris Bledsoe, my friend I was in car accident with.
Okay.
Um,
Did you know him beforehand?
yeah, we both did. Yeah, yeah. Like I knew Chris before his initial experience and after it. And when it happened, like everybody at school was joking about it. You know, a few people believed it. I made one joke about, you know, they're probably just all tripping on shrooms, but I didn't realize how deep the story was, or think, you know, how could they have all been hallucinating the same thing. But I brought it up once to Chris before, and he didn't really want to talk about it. I didn't know at the time that he was actually traumatized, but I just kind of left it alone. You know, I thought maybe he was just embarrassed about the whole situation, so I never brought it back up.
Mm-hmm.
But my other friend, almost got off subject, that I had the near death experience with, he was in Fayetteville one day, and apparently some people got this on camera. Yeah, because I had another friend actually see it too as well, and he was somewhere separate. But he said like two balls of light came down, and they, like, one came down like this, and another one came down next to it, and they both stopped, and then they fucking merged together as one ball and shot the fuck off. And I've
Oh
looked at the
man.
video. I can't find this video anywhere, but I've had two separate people. My friend who I had a near-death experience with, and somebody else completely separate from him tell me they saw the exact same thing. Oh,
Wow.
and here in Wilmington, sorry, I totally forgot about to tell you about this. In Wilmington, where I'm living right now, I didn't see this. I went to the gas station just a couple days ago. There's a little Arab store right next to me, like literally right next door. I can walk to it in 5 minutes. The guy there that works, this Arab owner, he knows about all this UFO shit. I don't even know how me and him ever got on the subject about it, but whenever I see it, he'll bring it up. It's funny. He's one of the only people around here I can actually talk to about it.
Wow.
He told me that in Wilmington there was just a sighting, a big sighting apparently, and I'm gonna try to find a video because I heard a video was posted.
Mm.
Um, it was a triangle, like three lights in a perfect triangle. I mean, like big lights though, from what I heard, and that apparently it two fighter jets started coming, and when they did, the thing just fucking took off or vanished or something. They said it was lost.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Man.
yeah,
Before
that's
I forget the triangle thing, I just had a reading done like a month ago. My sister and I went into this metaphysical shop, and everything just lined up like everything else has been lining up. She had cancellations. Yeah, she had cancellations, and she had an opening, and we sat down for a half hour. But one of the first things that she wrote down on her sheet of paper when I told her my birthday was a giant triangle. She was like, yeah, she was like, I have to go back and listen to it, but she said that I'm starting like a new path in life, and I'm starting like a new journey. And she was like, maybe it's a new hobby, or she's like, she was picking up on what was going on in my life. And she said that you're gonna have to quit your job, you're gonna have to move, and I'm gonna have to show you. You're not gonna believe this part.
Hey, move here, man. You can be my new roommate now.
Listen, dude, listen.
Yeah.
She said, and I'll play you it because you're probably not going to believe me, but she said, somebody named Chris is going to come into my life that has something to do with this new journey I'm going down. And then she wrote down that triangle. She made that triangle. She's like, I'm not sure if this is like tri-state or I'm seeing 3, and then she drew this triangle, and I'm like, at the time, it wasn't significant, but now it's like,
dude, you mentioned like, the first conversation that we had, the first Zoom meeting. Remember, you mentioned a guy named Chris, and he said he had like blondish hair or something like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Now Chris Jr. has kind of like dirty blonde hair, but Dude, that's fucking crazy, man.
That's
wild.
nuts. Yeah.
You know,
I think about that all the time.
that
Very
is
cool.
fucking,
Man,
and
there's some
that
crazy conversation going on in the chat that I keep.
really.
Yeah, this Eddie
Those
Haskell guy. I've got to get him on the show, man. He said the three of them looked like Frodo in the movie Godfather. And then when he got there, he saw no animals on the other side. The men told me I was at the grand place of waiting, which is insane. I mean, that's just crazy. And then he says, I saw a man who died in my neighborhood a year earlier once he was there. He got mad
Whoa,
at me and told me I shouldn't be here. That's when the three men came to send me back.
that's
Every time I read his comments, I get goosebumps, man. Can you overdose on goosebumps? Because I'd be dead by now.
that's crazy, man. The three orbs in the triangle, man. If you look at one of those videos that I recorded that I sent you, the one that flared up, it stops. Oh, you heard Chris? He says the triangle formation. They
Yeah.
stayed in that triangle. Those three orbs, they didn't move. Once that one was going, it came to a stop because two of them popped up and they just stayed still. And that was the first two that popped up. Then the one comes that flares up and it goes and stops right above them. And they stayed in that triangle formation for like an hour and a half. And at one point, they started blinking like in a pattern. It, yeah, it's crazy. And then on the three, the whole thing with threes. If you hear about Chris's story with the lady, I don't know if you've gotten that deep into it yet, or if
I
have you
think
heard anything about the movie?
you know what? I think I heard something about it on UFO Garage. And at the time, I didn't know you or any of the stories or anything. So I probably just one in one ear out the other.
Oh
But
man,
I
if
do need to go back and listen to it.
you have Spotify,
Yeah.
oh man, okay. Write down Richard Dolan, Chris Bledsoe. It's a 3-part series. The first part is about the river incident. You've probably heard most of that already. I think the second part's about like the aftermath of everything initially happened. The third part is about the lady. Dude, that is out there now. It's gonna blow your mind because some of it's more like paranormal type stuff, but I think it's real, man. And when that lady popped up, they actually got evidence like energy, radiation signatures on the ground or whatever. But when he encountered this lady, this entity known as the lady, he woke up in his bed and there was three of these figures in the cloaks, which he believes they're the light beings, and they're wearing these black cloaks, maybe like these shadow people or whatever. And there's three of them. They woke him up in his bed. They said, "Arise." He woke up and walked out. They let him out into the yard, and that's whenever he had this encounter with this entity known as the lady. But I mean, it's three beings, three men woke him up. And even he told me, threes are like something significant. It's yeah, I don't know all the details behind it, but it's definitely something, man. That's one of those weird synchronicities.
That medium that gave me the three that I was just telling you about, she's going to be on Paranormal Chop Shop this Friday, actually tomorrow. And we're going to have people call in and she's going to do readings on the air. So maybe tomorrow I can ask her about that.
Oh, hell yeah. Did y'all want me to jump on there with y'all tomorrow? Is that what y'all were talking about earlier this week?
Yeah. Yeah. If you have time.
Yeah, I can jump on there. What time are y'all going to be on?
6 p.m. Pacific. So it's 9 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. our time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's crazy that the reading that you were just telling me about, that kind of syncs up with the reading that you got last night.
Yeah, sure does. That's why at work I had to walk away from the machine that I was running. I was just like, okay, I got to just walk around for a minute. Yeah, it was hitting hard. I was really hoping that I was going to be dude, that's the other thing is, it was like right when I was walking into work, she was live. So by the time I got settled and got the machine running and stuff, I was like, there's no way she's going to be still on. And she was. And then I typed my name in there and she was like, I have time for one more and it's Chad Smith. I'm like, holy smokes. Gonna get just in time. It was like a 4-hour podcast or a live stream that she was doing.
Yeah, I've never seen her before. She seems pretty cool though.
Yeah, she did a reading for Sonny the other day, and it was spot on for him too. So she's pretty good.
Wow. So
Man, we
that's
got
great.
we got Big Willie in here. We got Sonny from Paranormal Chop Shop. Everybody's
Oh.
awake now.
That's awesome, man.
If you guys want to hop in here, we'll probably be live for a little bit longer here. Josh, you got stuff going on, or
No, I can chill for a minute, man. God, there was a subject I was wanting to talk about earlier, man. It totally slipped my mind. That's something that we had brought up earlier.
I'm getting dressed, boys. Be there in a minute. Oh, sweet, Sonny. Hey, I put the StreamYard link in the chat, so if anybody else wants to join in and share a story, we have got a little bit of time for that. Big Willie, I know you're going back to work. Just wanted to say hi. Peace, love, and taco grease. Man, you keep saying that. I'm going to have to go out and get some Taco Bell.
Oh, dude, I literally live right across the street from Taco Bell.
I'd be 400 pounds. I couldn't do that.
I'm serious. Literally, the apartment complex I'm at, there's a Taco Bell right across from me. Dead serious.
Wow. Well, I already know what happens when I live across the street from a bar. I become an alcoholic. I had to move away from that place, so I can't imagine living across from Taco Bell.
There's a bar across from the Taco Bell. It's like a volleyball place. It's called I can't remember the name right now, but it's like one of those outdoor balls and outdoor bars, and they play volleyball. That's what trips me out that I can actually see Orbs here sometimes because I live in a really busy area. But I think that's one thing I only see them here and there. You know,
Yeah.
like whenever I went back to the country area where I grew up over there and visited Chris last weekend, they're just everywhere. And it made me think, you know, I'm living this area where there's light pollution. I can't even see the sky that great. And there's an airport not far from me. And I don't know, I feel like maybe they don't pop up nearly as much if there's actually planes flying by and stuff. Actually, I'll take that back. There's a plane in the bottom of the video I got the Orb the other day.
Dude, happy 11/11 on 11/11.
Oh, it is 11/11. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Purpose and Grace pointed that out. I didn't even know what time it was.
How many people you got in chat?
Right now it says 7.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome.
So we are hitting big numbers.
Oh, yeah. We're almost at 2 digits. Yep.
That's right. I think I had 2 digits the first time I was on here.
I just keep going with it, man. It'll grow. I feel like it. Think about those readings that you got, man. Quit your job, go flip off your boss, take a shit on his desk. You know, you guys
hit the main breaker and walk out.
I don't know if Sony's recorded.
Oh, hold on one sec. What'd you say, Josh?
I was asking Sony if I sent him the videos that the ones that I actually recorded.
Yeah, I can't see them too well because they're on the ones you filmed with your phone off the screen. Yeah, I can kind of see them.
I mean, you can see the stars moving. I mean, the orbs they're moving. Some come to like immediate stops though. There's one that like flares up. Yeah, it sucks, man. I don't know why I couldn't share any of those from that phone, so I had to record it from a separate phone.
Yeah.
Man,
this is one that.
Oh, there's another one following it. It's a lot more faint. It's right behind it.
Oh yeah, you can see that one moving.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Two of them together.
A couple of them just popping up.
There's a triangle. Looks like a triangle. I just also want to point out that it's a huge felony to point a laser at an airplane. And if they were out there on a daily basis pointing lasers at real airplanes, they would be stopped to meet, they would come to a halt.
So, yeah.
That's a good point. I've heard that too.
Airplanes.
Yeah.
There's a guy here that did it a couple months ago. He shined one at one of the helicopters. They arrested him before he got off his roof. He was on his roof drinking, shining laser at the helicopter. And before he could even get down off the roof, the police was there to help him down and put him in the car. It's no joke, dude. I didn't know it would be like that. Like when it was on the news the next day, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be like that if you shine a laser at him.
Yeah, dude. I saw a video of, I think it was a news helicopter or maybe it was a police helicopter, but they had infrared camera on board. And as soon as that laser hit up, all they had to do was go to like night mode and they could see the house plain as day. And then the camera that they were using zoomed right in where you could almost see what color the clothes were that the person was wearing in the garage that he was standing in. So, and then somehow, I don't know if they were using Google Maps or what kind of technology they were using, but they knew exactly the road that the house was on and the cross street within like 30 seconds. So they just sent cops right to the house and it was taken care of within an hour.
Yeah, so we're playing. I would have had around 15 felonies the other night. That's crazy, man. That first the first one that I sent you from that night, the one where there's an airplane at the bottom and it flares up at the top. Yeah. If you look at the video, or it might have been the video right afterward. That's the one that comes to a stop. And now he says dead stop. The one where he says a dead stop after it comes up, where it makes a perfect triangle formation. And the looks like two stars underneath that orb where it came to a stop. Those were actually orbs that had popped up already. And they were just sitting still. And they stayed in that triangle formation for an hour and a half.
Holy crap, dude. Does Chris have any idea as to why they do the things that they do? Like why do they stay and why do some of them go? And does he have any explanation for that?
I don't know. I guess they want to be seen. I don't know. I think it has to do with frequencies and emotions, maybe. I have no idea. But I mean, he literally said he sensed it. Like I was saying earlier, it was like 30 seconds before we left to go start sky watching. He just said, he said, I know we're going to see something. It's going to be an active night. And he went out there. He said a quick little prayer. He said, and yeah, this is incredible, Sonny. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, it was less than 10 minutes and they started popping up everywhere.
This is the helicopter video.
Yeah. This is right after I left.
Sometimes they're just solid white.
Have you seen this one, Sonny, where the helicopter flies over?
I think he sent me this one. I think, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that was a helicopter.
Towards the moon.
Oh, no, I haven't seen this one. I haven't seen this one.
Okay. You'll like this one.
Right after I left.
Buddy, he's steady. Chasing something. Hear a helicopter coming. Fort Bragg State is right close to me, so they often come right over. I've seen them hovering here.
Hey, can you describe where his house is? Like, is he in the middle of a neighborhood or is he out in the middle of nowhere, kind of?
No, he's in, like in the Fayetteville area, but it's kind of like a popular area. But where he's at is like one of like the actual wooded areas, like within that. Like he's not far from Fort Bragg, but he's got like a nice bit of woods around, like surrounding his house. Have like like people right there, but he's still not far away at all from Fort Bragg, Fayetteville.
Yeah, what I was getting at is like there's not really any real reason why a helicopter with a spotlight should be flying over his house,
No. And the other video where the orb like came down in front of the trees, that was like directly before this, I believe.
The purple one?
No, the one where it comes down in front of the trees. The one where you said Emily called him out there.
Yeah, I'll look for that one because I'm pretty sure that was like a purple orb that goes in front of the trees.
Yeah, I think it kind of was a little purplish. Yeah, we watched that one yesterday, I believe. But yeah, I believe that was like, if not minutes before this happened, it was real close to it.
Okay.
And that was that.
And right
That's not a
along with
civilian.
the direction the orb is.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
You want to play the other video where one comes down in front of the trees, so people have like context of how close they were getting right before that helicopter came. I know us three have already seen that video.
Yeah, I'm looking for it here. Oh, here it is, right here.
Okay, there's a very big orb. Emily called me out of the house. It's hovering right here.
Oh, I just noticed that. I've seen this a million times, but I just noticed that you said Emily called him out of the house. So she sees stuff even when he's not out there.
Yeah, that's his daughter.
That's awesome.
Is it moving?
It was way up here at the top of the trees.
Wow.
What's up, Spooky? Good morning.
I see it good, and this camera is hovering just above the trees, right in the trees. Look.
It's through the trees there.
Oh, it's dropping. Look. Oh, Lord, thank you.
Yeah, that one's awesome. I love how he thanks him every time, too.
Right
Yeah,
in the trees. Look.
Started doing that
Oh,
too.
it's dropping. Look.
Yeah, right
Oh,
there
Lord,
proves a
thank
lot that it's in front of the trees. Yeah, dude, I talked to him too. Like this morning, I got out of my truck to walk into the apartment after I got out of work, and I just looked up at Orion again and was like, if today's the day, I welcome it. If it's not, we'll see it again tomorrow. You know, I try to talk to him when I can.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. There's got to be. I know there's another video I'm thinking of. What's up, Sonny?
What I missed this morning, guys. You guys cover all this stuff already?
Yeah, we're playing a lot of the videos that I was I'm going over some of those and putting up the videos I recorded. I know they're not the best quality, but I'm still glad I got proof. You know, I got them on film finally.
Yeah. Here's a couple.
Hey, Papa Willie, if you're up and still on here, grab some coffee and some stogies and head to my house. I'm out of cigars. Papa Willie.
Here's a daytime sighting. I don't think we played. We might have played yesterday, but maybe you can explain a little bit on what's going on here.
What is this?
Oh yeah, Chris Jr. recorded this. It's actually this.
If I'm remembering right, you said Chris Jr. was he like the most skeptical one of the family, you think, or was he?
He was the one that was traumatized. He was the one that was actually at the river at the very first incident with Chris Sr. He was the one that when Chris Sr. was abducted, Chris Jr. went into the woods looking for him. Chris Sr. was gone for 4 hours. They waited for like 2 hours. They were looking for him, couldn't find him. So Chris Jr. starts going into the woods, and he sees two orbs start floating like right off the ground towards him. In like the blink of an eye, two of those glass-skinned beings came out the orbs. Like it's just like they materialized. And I've asked him this. He doesn't know if they paralyzed him or if he was paralyzed from just the shock, but he was just stuck in place. He said he was just sitting there in the bushes. He couldn't move. He said it's like one of them kept looking at him. And so that's why he doesn't know if maybe they were making him paralyzed. But he's there for 2 hours while these the ones that Chris Sr. called their children, the light beings children in the glass skin suit, containment suits, whatever, with the red looking shutter goggle things. So, like I said, those are more like containment suits for the actual light beings, I guess the more adolescent ones. But he said for 2 hours, they were just walking around, picking up things, like observing things, like, sticks, cans, trash. He said there was like a pile of trash, like a debris from where a hurricane came and washed a lot of stuff up there. He said it's like they're picking up stuff and just looking at it, like they were just observing our world or something. And, they didn't try to hurt him or anything, but he was just stuck there for like 2 hours as they were just like observing nature and, our litter, shit that we're throwing out there. And then it wasn't until Chris had finally came back after 4 hours. And Chris went in the woods looking for Chris Jr. Chris Sr. to look for his son. that he went in the woods, and apparently right whenever he walked out there, that's whenever immediately like these glass skin beings, they vanished, went back to the orbs or whatever. And Chris Senior goes, he's like, what are you doing? And Chris Jr.'s, freaking out. He's like, Dad, where have you been? Oh my God, like there's these beings here and these orbs, and he's freaking out. He had no idea that his dad had just been abducted. So they had two separate experiences at the same time. So and then on top of that, whenever Chris Senior found his son, he gets him out the woods. They go back up to the campfire at the Cape Fear River. And by the way, one of these other people that were there that night, there's 5 people altogether. It's Chris Jr., and then 3 or 4 other people that were there at the river fishing. They'd all been working, doing construction jobs. They just finished a big job. They went there to go fish and celebrate. They had a fire. Well, Chris Jr. is like freaking out, telling everybody, what happened, and everybody's, what are you talking about? And then Chris Senior's talking about, well, I just saw 2 big, balls of light too. And these guys, they think that Chris and his son, are like tripping on drugs, and they have no idea what's going on. They lost their mind. Out of nowhere, one of them just goes, look, oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot to add this in. One of the other people there is a father of one of my other friends from high school. I want to name him. I don't know if he wants his name out there. So, yeah, actually, one of my good friends from high school, actually, his dad was one of these other people, and I don't think he likes to talk about it, to be honest. I think he got hit really hard with the ridicule. But one of these says, look,
I got to step away for a minute, Chad, if you want to take me out. Just I'll be back in I'll be back in a minute. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
No problem, dude. You're fine.
One of these guys says, look, I have to explain this to Sonny if he doesn't already know. But one of these guys says, look, like as they're all, kind of arguing about what Chris and his son are talking about, points to the sky. And when they look up, it looks like 8 or 9 stars. That's what it looks like, orbs, like what we were recording. But it's like they're just dancing, going frantic everywhere, just like going crazy directions. I mean, literally like just bouncing around. It's like 8 or 9 of them. Then I believe it's 3 of them in the blink of an eye shoot down from, like all the way from up there in space. They shoot down immediately in the blink of an eye to the other side of the river. At that point, they all freak the fuck out. They're like run into their truck. And when they get in their truck, because now like all of them have seen this, they all know it's real. They're panicking, trying to get away. And they get in their truck and they're driving away. These orbs start following them, and also apparently, like 4 out of the 5 people, Chris Senior didn't see this because he was driving, but the other one said that one of the little glass skin beings was chasing them, like literally chasing them in the truck, and said it looked like it. This is going to sound really freaking bizarre. He said it looked like it was running on all 4s. Like, I mean, I don't know how to explain that. It's weird. I don't know if it was moving like that so it could move faster, but said it literally looked like it was chasing the truck, and they're panicking. Like one of these other orbs is following them, and then as they're going up the dirt road, they see what kind of looks like what you saw in that documentary. They made it look really cheesy in the documentary. It looked like it had spikes going around it. It wasn't spikes. It was more like the light, just beams of light, just rotating in a circle. But it came down in the middle of the road, like stopping them from getting out to the highway. Or I mean, it was not like on the road, but like right above the road, up this dirt road. This was like in 2007 or something like that. I don't think anyone even had a cell phone at the time, to be honest. I don't know why exactly, but I know they went to one of the neighbors that were there. This is something else really weird. One of the people that lived down this dirt road, they went to their door and started beating on the door. I think they're trying to get a phone to call the police or something like that.
Yeah.
When they're beating the door, they said they could see through the window or whatever that there was a TV on. There was cars in the driveway. They beat on the door for like, a good minute, and nobody answered the door. They gave up and they got back in their truck. And the crazy thing about this is what I just told you. When they got back in contact with these people the next day, because they knew them, they said, we were home all night. We didn't hear anybody beating on the door. And I mean, dude, they said they were beating on the door, like panicking, like how do you explain it? That's just another little anomaly.
Yeah, it's like time stopped.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, man. And that's like one of those details that gets left out a lot. But I know that because I've been told that from them, Well, they get in the truck and they finally they're fighting over who's going to get home first and everything, but they end up going home and I think they said that the big tic tac looking oval shaped ship with the beams of light that are rotating in a circle around it ended up going over them. And whenever they went over them, Chris said that it was so low that he could have had a homemade slingshot and he could have hit this thing whenever it went over the truck. But
Wow.
that's when we were finally able to, like go straight down the drive, go down this dirt road to get home. But they got the guys home. When Chris gets home that night, for some reason, I don't. Maybe it's because his Crohn's disease was just cured. He was just healed. But Chris Senior wasn't panicking at all. He was actually. I don't know. I guess he felt like this something angelic. I'm sorry, I gotta blow my nose real quick.
Yeah, you're fine. Man, I've thought about that too. Like when I told you earlier that. All right, what am I trying to refer to? But what I was gonna say is, I feel like if I were to see something like this right now, just knowing what I know, I mean, this is just talking out of my ass because it's probably different when I actually do see something, but I do feel like I'd have that feeling that it would just be angelic. Like it wouldn't be, I don't know if I'd really be afraid of it. Maybe I would, but
maybe like a spook factor just from seeing something that you're not used to.
Yeah, that you're not used to seeing.
Yeah, man, I think that I mean, dude, like they've been here longer than we have, but they wouldn't have killed us by now. Like I mean, that's not to say that there's not some out there that might be bad. There might be some evil ones out there. I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
But we were talking about yesterday with the 80-20 thing. I think that most of them, hopefully the majority of them are good. They're actually trying to help us, maybe progress us along.
Yeah, they said that they were the guardians of evolution, right?
Yeah, or the guardians of no, they referred to Earth as like a garden, like actually like Earth as a garden,
Right. This is where they learn balance, they said.
Yeah, dude. Is that on the Bledsoe Setso thing?
Yep.
Yeah, I got back into that. It's crazy. I was just talking to kids the other day about the whole duality thing.
Yeah, when you were in the bathroom, I told everybody that I referenced Bledsoe Setso podcast episode number 9. That's when they go over the regression, and just that episode like changed my whole outlook on my whole outlook on reality. Like just that one episode.
Yeah, and you saw the documentary, like the little part of the regression that they actually put on the Discovery Channel show. Like, why did they left out all that credible shit and they put that little piece in the documentary? I mean, to me that was proof that they were hiding so much shit. And whenever I was telling you earlier about the balls of light that shot down from all the way from space, like immediately down to the other side of the river.
Yeah.
They had like trace evidence, like or that might have been in Chris's yard actually, but they had like evidence in the dirt, from actual like energy or radiation signatures or whatever.
Yeah, I just listened to that episode last night at work actually, or maybe it was on the way home. But yeah, they were talking about how there's like a circle in the yard that had a lot of radiation.
He showed me pictures of these when I was at his house the other day of the actual circle, trace marks, landmarks, whatever you call them.
Wow. Oh, that's something else.
The whole duality thing, man. I was talking about this with them, and I think me and you were talking about it a little bit, like the meaning of existence, and I keep hearing about duality and stuff, and I think it was Geraldine was talking about this the other day, and it's crazy. I've been having this weird synchronicity here where I keep seeing the yin and yang symbol everywhere lately. I mean, like, dude, it's like every day it keeps popping up, whether it's on my phone or I'm driving down the road or something, or going into a store. I keep seeing it, or it'll be on somebody's car or something. I feel like it's a sign, but
yeah, because how often do you see that really? Like when you're, I hardly ever see that sign.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I know that they say, like once you get a vehicle, you'll start seeing that vehicle everywhere just because you're paying more attention to it. But like with this, it feels totally different. Owls is another thing. I've actually seen 2 live owls here, like real owls, in like the past 2 months, and then I keep seeing like owls pop up like on, just images of owls here a lot lately.
You've seen 2 live owls? in the past couple months?
One of them was white. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
another
and
thing. Like how I can't even tell you the last time I saw a real living owl.
yeah, yeah, my investigator was really interested in that. I didn't know that apparently there's some connection with owls and ETs, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't.
I don't know the whole story behind that, but there is a connection somewhere.
Oh man, we should look that up. It's
Okay. We're waiting on Sunny anyway, so
yeah, I'm
um
curious about it, and I keep seeing images of owls everywhere. We're talking about the whole duality thing though, while you're pulling that up before I forget what I was saying.
mhm.
Dean had said something about the masculine and the feminine side of the universe and how the masculine is like action and the feminine is intuition. And it's about, like bringing those two together. Well, that like really hit me because, like me and you were talking yesterday about how we're like a piece of the universe, but I feel like the whole action and the masculine is because we make change, we make ripple effects in time. And like balancing those together is like balancing the change that we're making with the universe, the intuition, the what's already here. It's like it's almost like the universe is experiencing itself because we're a part of the universe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get a little tired trying to. Sometimes I get thoughts in my head and I don't really know how to put them into words.
That's how I am. That's
Yeah,
why I like stutter over myself when I'm doing this podcast. Go to say something and then just my brain's like, say this, say that.
yeah, I do it all the time. Um,
This,
Geraldine, I asked her about sacred geometry because I've been seeing sacred geometry in my dreams here um, a lot lately, actually.
yeah.
And dude, he said like hit me on such a deep level, and she put in better words than I ever could have.
I know. I want to start talking to more mediums and more people that do the work that Gemma was doing and stuff. Because I never believed in it before, but now I do, and now it makes a lot more sense to me, and it hits home pretty hard.
Yeah, I definitely believe in it. And yeah, I met a remote viewer that proved to me the remote viewing was real. I think I've told you about that.
Man, maybe if you did, I don't really remember.
The white flashing light. I did like
Yeah,
a couple of times. I actually did C5 with a little group of people. Yeah, we did like the meditation, and me and the girl that was next to me, I was seeing a white flashing light in my head, and whenever we came out to meditation, she said that she was seeing a white flashing light. I'm like, holy shit! And then the guy on the other side of the circle had the EMF readers that was called. Him
yeah.
and people were saying that things started buzzing like right at the end of the meditation when me and her saw the white flashing light. But then after the CE5 thing was done, because we didn't see anything in the sky, but we had that weird experience meditating. This woman that I met, I'd love to get her on the show. Actually, man, she's amazing. She said she's been abducted a few times, but she
Hmm.
said she couldn't make it, but she did a remote viewing, and that she saw a circle, which we were sitting in a circle, but I thought she could have guessed that. But then she said that it was hard to see all because there was a white flashing light. And when she said that, I was just like, "What the fuck?" Like she didn't know anybody that was there. Nobody that even knew that she was supposed to come. Like this is just a random fucking person, and it's crazy, man. It blew my mind when she said that. I'm like, okay, I guess remote viewing is real.
Yeah,
Took me out.
man. Spooky says, sometimes we see our past selves not in the same physical state. So yeah, like from a past life, maybe you're actually, what is he referring to there? I can't remember. Were we talking
So,
about?
you said it again. I can't read that.
Oh, it says sometimes we see our past selves not in the same physical state. So like maybe you see yourself as a entity or um an owl, maybe.
That's that's really crazy.
Is that what you're referring to, Spooky? Is when we were talking about owls? Do you think he's maybe seeing himself in a past life? That would be interesting.
Well, man, one of my family members that I can't name that I just found out recently has been having paranormal experiences. Not like seeing things in the sky, but and she's younger. She's a younger family member, very close to me, and she doesn't want to talk about it. I think she's scared of it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Said that she will, and it's been going on for years now. I just found this out, like literally just found this out a couple of days ago. For like split moments, almost like a frame, like a blink of an eye. Said that she'll see people that shouldn't be there, or I don't know. Like she said, she was in the living room, where she was at, and for like a split second, it's gonna sound really freaky, but she said that there was a person sitting on the couch that was wrapped up in duct tape. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yes, dude, it freaked me out. I'm like, what? Like, and you know, she started telling me this. I'm like, no, like I've heard this stuff runs in the family. Tell me more. You know, what you experiencing? So starts telling me more, and because this wasn't my exact family member I'm telling you about, because like I said, she's young. She's afraid to talk about this. Well, the other family member I'm talking about, who is raising this person, who's a very close family member, very closely related to me. I just don't want to name her. So this has been happening for years, that they've gone through Walmart before. She said for like a blink of an eye, it's like a person walking somewhere, and like just for like a split second, there's a person walking, but it's a person that shouldn't be there. And she said that they'll look different, and sometimes not even human. And I don't know exactly what that means, but dude, the person wrapped in duct tape, that weirded me out. Like, I'm like, what is that? Somebody who died or something? I have no idea. And dripping doorways. Like, here's the thing: like, you can't make shit like this up. It's too weird and bizarre and random. So that very often, before she goes through a doorway, it'll look like it's dripping water for a split second. Literally, like the doorway just is dripping water. I've never even heard of this.
No.
But yeah, dude, it's really strange and out there. And I don't know if anybody in the chat has ever heard anything about dripping doorways. Please let me know, because that's completely.
Only with psilocybin.
I was just gonna say that only on mushrooms. Where you
Really?
see stuff moving like that. Yeah.
Well, like dripping water, though.
I'll be honest with you. The first time I did it, we were playing Xbox, and like the main menu of the Xbox screen, there's bubbles, like bubble icons.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, they looked like bubbles on psilocybin, but they're just like square boxes. But when I was on psilocybin, they were like bubbles, like where they moved out and they were 3D and moving. So yeah, I mean, I think that's completely depending on what the dose was. But you're saying that this was without any kind of.
Yeah.
This is a very young girl, a young family member, and teenager, and this has been going on since she was a kid, like less than 10 years old, from everything I'm hearing. And it's happened multiple times, like many times from what I've heard. And apparently just recently it stopped happening. And I'm really trying to speak to her about it, because this is very close kin to me. But apparently just recently she decided she doesn't believe in God anymore. And I'm like, no, I'm like, let me talk to her, because I believe she's experiencing this stuff. And I think she's just saying that because she's trying to shut it out, because she's scared of it. And
she needs to go to Chris's house.
Chris just told me to bring her over there. Swear to God. He just did yesterday. He said, I told her what was happening, because Chris asked me, he said, do you have, there's theories that, this stuff runs in the bloodline. Chris asked me, do you have any family members that have any kind of experiences? And I said, I don't know. I think I have a couple that might have seen something weird or had something weird happen. But the next day is whenever I asked a couple family members who I had suspicions might have had something happen. And that's whenever somebody told me that this very close kin to me, I keep almost wanting to say her name, was going through this stuff. And I told Chris about it, told him what she was experiencing, told her that she's scared of it, and now she's saying that she doesn't believe in God. Chris texted me back, just said, bring her over here. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
And that was incredible. I mean, that meant a lot to me too, man. I'm going to try to bring her over there.
Awesome. Keep us updated on that if she's okay with that.
And more about the owls. I could hear you guys while I was inside. I'm sorry I had to go. I had to go pick some stuff up and move some stuff off the table. I forgot the internet guys are coming today. I told a story on UFO Garage podcast with Ben and Joe one time, and I didn't know anything about the owls before Josh. I honestly thought they were messing with me, because I told this story about these lights flashing with me and Papa Willie. We were on a fishing trip, the guy that's in chat. When I got done telling the story, he said nothing else happened. And I said, well, there was this owl that kept following us around from fishing spot to fishing spot. And at first it freaked us out because when I seen an owl where we were fishing, we went 10 minutes down this water. It's kind of like an aqueduct type thing. We went 10 minutes down to another fishing spot. I'll give him a second.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, you're fine. My nose is running too, dude. It's cold out here. But yeah, we went 10 minutes down, and then when we got out of the truck and we got set up, it was like, hey, Bill, there's another fucking owl right there, you know. And then we went down a little further, and this time when we were going down to the next spot, I look up, and this owl is flying next to the truck, and he like flies down to the next spot in front of us, and he lands in the road, like almost right where we're gonna go. We got to drive past him though. I drive past him and he's just looking at us. He's sitting on the side of the road. We get to the fishing spot. We fish for a little bit. And as we're backing out to leave, I see him. He's sitting there. It's the same owl. He's following us. Then as we leave, I notice what he's doing. He's using my headlights on the truck because it's nighttime to hunt. Yeah. So I get the flashlight out and I'll have the flashlight out the window, shining it on the ground for him. We're driving real slow. And he's just flying next to the truck. And then he stops and starts hovering. It looks like a little hawk, but it's a big ass owl. He stops, starts hovering, and dives straight down in the grass to grab something. And so I told him, I go, I think he was just hunting with us. And they were like, no. Whenever someone sees not whenever. He said sometimes when people see UFOs or aliens or they have any experiences like that, they always see an owl or normally see an owl afterwards.
Man, aren't owls supposed to only be out at night or most of them?
Well, this was night.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
we have owls around here. There's three. There's three that live in the trees just from my house, and then we got 3 hawks, and then we have one golden eagle that lives right here somewhere. I don't know if it lives in this valley, but it comes to my house all the time. I just took pictures of it.
Yeah, I've got a hawk.
5 days ago, and sent them to Papa Willie and told him the eagle's back. And when that eagle's flying around the hawks that are out here, it makes those hawks look like sparrows. This thing is huge, man. It's big.
I gotta get to this comment before I lose it, because going back to where that doorway was like a liquid, Nicole said doorways are supposed to be portals.
Okay, well that okay. So I need to tell you something on top of that. I've not spoken about this publicly. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that I keep bringing up the Bledsoes because I don't want people thinking I'm, riding on their coattails, but I have a connection with them. I do,
Yeah.
But so Chris Bledsoe freaked me the fuck out whenever I first reached out to him because I just need to tell you how it happened. Okay, it has something to do with the doorways. Do y'all remember me telling you about the dream that I had where I saw my grandfather, and I saw my great grandfather in the same dream. I don't know. If there's people in the chat that aren't listening, I guess I'll go through it real quick. I came home one day. I lay down on my couch to take a nap. I thought I'd woke up, but I wasn't awake. But I literally woke up like on the couch, exactly where I was laying down. And as soon as I stood up, I had this intense vertigo. I fell straight to the ground. My head was pounding. It felt physical, like literally felt like my head was just pounding and spinning. When I stood up, I had to use the walls to actually hold myself up. But I made my way down to the end of this hallway to go to what should have been my old bedroom. And whenever I went through this door, first off, whenever I walked through it, immediately my vertigo stopped. But I wasn't in my bedroom. I went to this other place. It was this big, empty, square room. And that's where I told you guys, that's where the man was sitting in the chair. The man with the hat and the white hair, he was sitting in a fold-out chair, and there's a fold-out chair empty in front of him, like he was waiting on me. But I walked through his door, and I appeared, somewhere else that wasn't what it should have been. And this room here, it was step by step. I can remember every single detail. It's not like a scattered mess like my dreams usually are. It's like I was living in this moment, and I remember I can remember my senses. Like I remember how things felt. Like it just literally felt like I was in that moment, like I was in their dimension. Well, I sat in this chair, and this old guy I didn't recognize says, "Nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you." And then he nods his head towards the back of this room, and there's another door behind him. So I get up and I walk through this room. I walk through this door, and whenever I open this door, I immediately, it's like I'm transported like in my grandparents' front yard. And I mean, like literally, I walk through the door, and it's just like boom, it's sunny, green grass. It's my grandparents' house, and it was painted the same color it was whenever my grandfather was still alive. So I walk up to this door. I know you guys know the story. I'm just saying this for anybody listening that doesn't.
I love hearing it. I love hearing it.
I appreciate it. And I got a light a cigarette because God, I don't mean to sound like a bitch, but I think about this dream every day, but sometimes I still get it hits me when I think about it.
Yeah, that's fine, man.
Not making me cry again on air.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna shut my.
Yeah, so I walk up to this door, and before I even knocked on the door, I knew, I just had this feeling that he was going to be my grandfather. And I called him my papa. This is my mother's father, and me and him were really close when I was a child. He passed away when I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I knocked on the door, and sure enough, like it was him that answered, and like I told you guys, I can remember him better from this dream than I do as a child. It's literally like he was standing right in front of me, and I tried to say something to him, and I choked up. I just started crying. I couldn't hold it in, and he just hugged me. He said everything's going to be okay, and then boom, I woke up. And when I woke up, I felt just like a shock, like mix of emotions, like freaked out, excited, like grateful I got to see my grandfather, but then still freaked out because I felt like I was literally just in another world. And I felt like an energy going through my body. It felt like there was static, like going through my entire body. It literally, like my hairs are starting to stand up right now, to be honest, just thinking about it. But it felt like this surge of energy going through my body. And I went to go tell my little sister. She looked at me like I was crazy. Didn't know what I was talking about. But when I told my mother, first off, my mother, she's half Blackfoot Native American, so she's really into dreams and stuff. But she could already just see by the expression on my face and the way that I was acting that I just experienced, something. And I've never had anything like this happen to me before in my life, except for I guess I'm gonna have to explain after this what happened when I was born. So I was told her about the dream, and what really caught her attention wasn't just the fact that I saw my grandfather, her father, but the first man that was sitting in the fold-out chair. The way I describe this man sounded identical to my great grandfather, who I've never met before in my life. I've never seen a picture of him, but literally, like the hat he was wearing, the way he was dressed, like the color of his hair, just sounded just like him. And what's really crazy, you guys know this, he was killed a couple months before I was born. Some robbers broke in his house. One of them hit him in the head with a hammer and they killed him. And it was right before I was born. And the day I was born, and I just talked to my mother about this a couple of days ago, actually. I wanted to know more information from her, actually. But the day that I was born, my mother and my grandmother, and I just found this part out from my mother the other day. She told me that what was really weird is right before this happened, there was like this eerie like silence. Like they said they almost felt like something was about to happen, and there was nobody else. It was just them two. I'm not even 24 hours old, and they just felt like this weird, eerie silence. And they both looked down at me and for like a split second, like blink of an eye, and they can't put it into words, but instead they saw my great grandfather like in me. I don't know how to explain it, and they said there was like an aura, like an energy, kind of like I don't like a misty fog. I don't know how to say it, but I asked my mother the other day. I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, did you see his face? Like, what do you see? My great grandfather's face on a newborn baby? I don't get it, But my mother can't explain it. She said, "I don't know how to say it, Josh. I just saw him," and they said they felt this, energy go through their body, kind of like what I maybe like what I felt whenever I woke up from that dream. They both said they felt like static going through their body, and both their hairs were standing up. It almost sent my mother into a shock, like she almost started crying, freaking out. And told me this story my entire life. I always thought it was just a nice story. That he was my my guardian angel or something like that. I had no idea. Now I've recently been having people tell me that maybe I am my great grandfather. Like, I was reincarnated as him or something. Is that what you're thinking?
That's what I was thinking this whole time.
Dude, my Seb talk, and she's going to be on with Big Willie or Ben and Joe. My investigator told me that. She said that's what she thinks. But so here's where it gets a little weird. This is more recently, man. Chris Bledsoe ended up being a part of the story because
no way.
When I first reached out to him and I was telling him about some of the orbs, by that time I'd only seen like one orb, and I was trying to wrap my head around what was going on. And I reached out to him, and I was having like weird premonitions and stuff to happen. But when I was talking to Chris, he didn't know anything about this dream that I had. He said, "Josh, I need you to do something." He said, "Just trust me on this. I don't know how to explain it. You just need to trust me. I just have weird feelings about things sometimes." But he said, "You need to go watch this movie called The Adjustment Bureau." I don't know if you guys ever heard of that movie. It's got Matt Damon and the guy who plays the Falcon, or he's the new Captain America in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the black guy. It's Matt Damon's the main character, but there's like these beings in it. They said that they've been referred to as angels. Have you guys ever seen the movie?
I haven't seen the movie. No.
I'm gonna go watch it now.
Yep.
You definitely gotta watch, dude. It shook me. I mean, it changed my life. I'm not gonna lie. Because he told me I need to watch this movie. He said, "Josh, this is what you're going through. You need to watch this movie." And what's even weirder is when he told me this, his truck shut off, just completely stopped going down the road. At the time, I didn't know all of this other weird stuff that Chris was going through. I just knew about the river incident. But he started laughing. He said, my truck just cut off. And I was thinking, like, so what? He could be having truck issues. Later on, I find out that, no, he has weird stuff like that happen all the time. Like his watches will cut off or his phone. Like it's almost like he's magnetized or some shit. I don't know how to explain it. But he tells me that. So I watch this movie. And in this movie, there are scenes where I don't want to give away too much because you guys haven't seen it, but these beings are going through doors and they're popping up in random places. Like they'll go through a door and they'll pop up somewhere else, just like what happened in my dream. And yes, there was a few other weird parallels in that movie that synced up with that dream that I had so much. I mean, it hit me so hard. I don't even know how to explain it. I can't really put it into words where people are going to know exactly what I felt. But like as I was watching this dream, there was one part that happened, and as soon as it happened, I was just like, "Oh my God!" And Chris didn't know anything about the dream at all. And I had this dream, like 7 years before this movie even came out. But this scene came in the movie, and I did like this. I was like, "Oh my God!" And then look, my phone immediately cuts off, and my phone is plugged up.
What?
I don't know. Like, I'm serious. And dude, listen, I had just whenever it happened, I cut my phone back on, and my phone has not done anything like that before. Sorry, my phone was still charging. It was plugged up. I'm getting chills right now talking about this. I had to pause the movie. I had to pause the movie and just go for a walk. I went outside and I just went walking for like an hour, man. I couldn't even finish the movie. I was just thinking I had to process everything. I'm like, what in the fuck? This is some crazy shit, I don't know. You gotta kind of see the movie, and then again, you gotta be in my shoes and experience that dream exactly how I felt. But it hit me on such a deep level, and I ended up messaging Chris back before I even started the movie. I said, "How did you know?" Or I said, that movie has so many parallels to my dream. How could you have known that?" And he responds back just saying, "I didn't know that. That's just how they work." And
wow.
And these beings in the movie, Matt Damon straight up asked them, he says, "Well, what are you, angels?" And they say, "We've been referred to as that." And it's crazy shit. It's really crazy.
It sounded like Sonny just went through a portal.
So yeah, that's when they got. I went way off, way off the rails, talking about the dream and the day I was born, and then the movie. And I know that was a lot, but
I'm so glad you did.
When he said the thing about the portals and the doors, I said all that because I almost said her name. when my family member told me that my other younger family was experiencing this and said the thing about the door dripping water, I got immediate chills. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what's it up with doorways? I don't know. It's crazy. I'm sorry. I'm going to leave it there because I know I just went way off, but
Oh, you're
I had
fine,
to
man.
sense.
Actually, Purpose and Grace says that you need to write a book, several books.
I've been thinking about it, to be honest.
She said she can't get enough.
I probably can do it. Sometimes I get scatterbrained, I branch off, but I guess I do need to write a book because sometimes I feel like a lot of shit bottled up that I need to get out, to be honest.
Either that or start a podcast or do both or just hang out with us on our podcast if you don't feel comfortable starting one or something. But yeah, your voice is very important, I think.
Yep.
Even if I do start a podcast, I'm still gonna hang around with you guys and be on y'all's as much as I can.
Awesome. Yeah, you're always welcome for sure.
Sonny, I told Chad, I didn't tell you all this last time I was on podcast. I had an orb pop up in my room, or something happened in my room while I was talking to my MUFON investigator. This is the day after I came home from Chris's house. The same day that, I don't know if I sent it to you, but I recorded an orb off my back balcony. It was an orange orb. It just popped up out of nowhere. The camera doesn't do any justice. It just looks like a star floating up. But it was orange and there was no blinking lights. There's actually a plane underneath it blinking, so you can do the comparison. But it was floating up and just kept floating up. I got it on camera and then I ran around to the front of my apartment and it was completely gone. And I mean, this thing was moving real slow. Chad seen the video. But that same night, I was talking to my MUFON investigator, and in this bedroom right here, I'm gonna start staring at the corner again, like I was when I was talking to her. I was in the middle of a conversation with her, and it looked like a little tiny flicker of light just did like this S shape out of nowhere, and it almost looked like it sparked. I don't know, like it did like that, and whenever it curved, it's like a little spark came off of it. And Seb, she saw my raw reaction, man. Dude, I jumped out of this chair and I'm not gonna lie, I just jumped up. I'm like, holy fucking, like, I go over there and Seb's on the phone, like, Josh, what is it? What is it? What is it? And like, it took me a minute to even come back to the chair, man. Like, I got chills right now just talking about it. I'm staring at the corner again.
Dude, you're not the only one. Spooky said that he had a white orb in his bedroom last week.
Oh man, that's the first time I've been.
Like he typed that as you were saying that. It's crazy.
Wow.
Dude, he actually had a question which you're gonna laugh at. He said, "Can I actually ask Josh and all of you, do you know your family tree and if Native American blood is in your family?"
I'm a quarter Blackfoot Native American, at least somewhere around a quarter. My mother is half Blackfoot. My great grandfather, the one that I was talking about, they said they saw in me somehow. He was Blackfoot Native American. I don't know my full family tree though. Chris and my investigator has been telling me that I need to do the ancestry.com because my father was actually adopted and I don't think he knows his true bloodline, to be honest.
And Sonny, you're Native American also, right?
Yeah. I think that has a lot to do with seeing stuff too.
And I know I am too. I just don't know what percentage. I don't know. I'm gonna write that down because my aunt is super into genealogy and she could tell me exactly. So I just need to get with her and figure out, what percentage I am and what tribe and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Spooky, do you know the significance with that?
Star people.
Josh, all from around North Carolina. Oh, are you seeing all these things from around North Carolina? I think that's what he's asking.
Josh, all from around North Carolina. All my sightings?
I think that's what he means, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything outside of North Carolina. I haven't gotten out of North Carolina in a little while here, to be honest. But I do know that Chris, it's not like it's a property thing. He moved from his original house where he was having his experiences, and now at the new place he's at, he's having experiences. He was in, I think, California with Tom DeLonge from Blink-182, and they had an experience from like some roof or a balcony somewhere.
Hold on, guys. My dog's going to attack somebody.
No problem, dude. Spooky's asking all kinds. Spooky, do you have a camera? Just come on to the podcast, dude. He says, Chad, you know where we're from? What area of the United States? I actually don't. I'm gonna find all that out. I will definitely do that. He wants to know where Josh's family is from.
North Carolina. My mother was born in Georgia, so but everybody else North Carolina.
And then what was the other thing? Oh, Purpose and Grace said that she'd be willing to make you a family tree.
Oh, that's awesome. Definitely.
Look into family tree.
I'd love to find out my bloodline on my father's side.
Yeah, I never really thought too much into it, but now that I'm finding out that Native Americans might have a link to it, then I should definitely find more out. Yeah,
definitely. Because Native Americans, dude, they with the star people, like this whole UFO phenomenon, it's not new to them. I just heard from somebody recently that they know for a fact that A10 they were instigating like Native Americans doing their ceremonies and having these UFO sightings of orbs and stuff. Dude, the video that we got with the entity where you can see the entity that flashes, there's Americans there. Oh,
I need to pull up that. How did I not play that today?
Yeah, we played that like every day, just about. Hey man, it's epic though. It's incredible.
Yeah, I don't have that in my downloads. I'm gonna have to go back in our chat and find it.
Yeah, you can hear the Native Americans, doing their little ceremony in that video. The Phoenix Light, and I've heard, I don't know if this is 100% correct, but I've heard that the Phoenix Lights might have had some kind of connection with some Native Americans doing something. I do know that there was Native Americans there that the Phoenix Lights didn't shock them at all. Like to them, they said, that's the star people.
Wow.
It's nothing new. If you go look at some of these cave paintings from like or not just cave, but like this art, from like Native Americans, there's shit that looks like UFOs and actual aliens. And I know people bash the Ancient Aliens show because some of the stuff they do is really far fetched and out there, and I feel like they're reaching too hard. But there's a lot of like legitimate stuff on the Ancient Alien show, and I just seen something not too long ago with some cave paintings from I think the I can't remember what tribe it was, but dude, the shit looks just like a fucking UFO. And then there's like paintings of people, and then there's paintings of a being that looks like your typical alien, like like a gray. And there's another one that looked like what do they call it, the mantis? I just recently learned about like the mantis aliens or whatever. There's a painting that looks like a humanoid like mantis thing. I mean, it's got the antennas coming off and everything. It's fucking out there.
Wow. What was I gonna say? Oh, Purpose and Grace wanted to know what town. She's in Lincolnton.
Hey guys.
Hey, we got Papa Willie back there.
I made a request and he showed up. He brought the stogies.
Perfect.
Lucky.
What's up, dude? Good to see you.
Good morning.
Did you bring some coffee?
What do you guys think about mantis beings?
That's why those praying mantis look like aliens to me already anyway.
I think mantis people would be scary because they pretty much any bug close to their size, they devour it. They rip it apart and eat it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, dude, they eat their mates.
Our size like that would be ridiculous.
I was gonna send this to Chad, but I'll just show you. This is one in my shop, right?
Oh yeah, I love praying mantis. Actually,
okay, he's sitting on the Buick and he's staring at me over at the table we're at now, and I mean for a good 2 hours, right? So I look over at him and I talk to him and I say, "Hey man, don't just sit on my car right there. You're gonna get killed. The dogs are gonna get you." I'm talking to this thing, tell him move up the car, and as I walk over to him, this thing like flexes on me. Somebody joking around, they'll be like,
yeah.
So he does, and I take a picture. It looked like he wanted to rip my head off, man. If this thing would have been 5 feet tall, I'd have been running the other way for sure.
Why did you take that picture, Sonny? When was that?
That was shoot, I don't even know. But this is what happened when I went over by him and tried to talk to him. I've never seen one do that before. I'm trying to get the glare out of there.
What's he doing? Oh, is he like split?
He just laid down and flexed his arms out, and he just got real low. Like the closer I got, the meaner he got. He wasn't having it, man.
Dude, he was testing Sonny's gangster.
Yeah. When he did that, I walked even closer to him and I told him, I ain't no punk bitch, Manus.
Dude, I thought when they're threatened and they're trying to show that they're threatening, I thought they get bigger and like stand up and like raise up like that.
I never seen one do that. But yeah, every time the closer I got, the lower he got and the farther his arms went out, like he was gonna jump on me.
Wow.
I love praying mantis. Actually, I just had one not too long ago, but when I was a kid, like if maybe it's your energy or your frequency or whatever, but I would actually like get them and hold them sometimes. And I swear to God, as a kid, I would take a grasshopper or something, hold it in one hand, and I'd have the praying mantis sitting on like my arm or something, and I would hold the grasshopper like that, and the praying mantis would snatch the grasshopper straight out my fingers and start to eat it. Right at me. Just chill, just eat it. And
if you put them on you, they'll change the color of your clothes too. Like they won't just stay green.
The camouflage, they camouflage.
If you stay on you long enough, they turn that color.
I've heard that the mantis beings, like the actual aliens, I've actually heard that they're healers. I looked that up a couple times and I've heard the same thing, that they're healers. I mean, it's weird to me to think that like a bug could evolve to be that consciously aware. But I mean, who knows? You know, I mean, I have no idea. Maybe
I was gonna say, I think the reason he said that they would be mean is because we used to take praying mantises and put them in a jar and then put black widows in there with them to see what would happen. Stuff like that. We haven't found a bug yet. We haven't found a bug yet that they won't eat, man. They kill everything. It don't matter what you put in there with them. They're mean.
The smallest thing that I found that will eat them is a tarantula.
Yeah.
They're too strong.
Yeah.
I've seen one eat a lizard.
And that'll go one way or the other. But that's the smallest thing that I've found that we could put in a tank together with these things and it not just wipe them out.
I've seen one eating a lizard. No bullshit.
Yeah.
A lizard?
Yes. There's a video of it on YouTube. Like the mantis has got the lizard. He's like got him in a rear naked choke and he's just like, got your bitch. And he starts eating her brain.
Wow, they look so fragile when you look at them.
Oh, praying mantises. The way that their little claws are, man. Whenever they get something in that grip, and they got it's not getting. I don't know. It's crazy. And they said it's something like they can eat. I think in their lifetime, I could be wrong on this. I heard something like in praying mantis lifetime, they'll eat enough to be like the weight of a moose. Some shit. I don't know. That could be totally wrong, man. But if that's true, that's fucking insane. But I don't know, dude. Like them things they eat, like I've seen them eat. I don't know how we got on this subject, man. But
Purpose and Grace says she's itchy now.
We're starting my bugger. Yeah, we're gonna scare viewers away if we keep talking about bugs.
Josh, I don't know if you can read this, but I don't want to pass it up. Spooky said when he was a little boy, an Indian asked me, "You see star people, don't you?" And then the Indian named him. Which that's pretty cool. It's like the Indian can look at him and be like, "Oh, I see an aura around."
That's your spirit guide, Spooky.
Yep.
I had somebody tell me that he was an Anunnaki not too long ago. Random as fuck. And check this out. I've not told many people about it. I think my MUFON investigator is the only person I've told about this. Man, you were just saying that I keep bringing up new shit every time. Like I lose track of some of this stuff. This is a really weird synchronicity that happened.
We know people that say that.
The day after I saw my first orb this year, the day after now, I had to go to court for something. It was like a little bullshit traffic ticket or something. But it's right by the Cape Fear River. And after I got out, I just decided to walk down to the Cape Fear River. And I don't know if this guy saw me looking up at the sky or something, but there was this guy with a cane, and he had like this weird little top hat looking thing on. He was just really, strange looking guy, light skinned guy. He just came up to me and asked me some question, and he said, I'm an Anunnaki. I'm like, what? And he said, yeah, I'm an Anunnaki. And I said, why would you say that? And I mean, dude, like, it tripped me up. But the weird thing was, like, I was a little bit paranoid at that time because this is whenever I was just starting to, come to this realization this shit was real. And I had just had an orb sighting the night before. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, like, I had court today. Maybe the government knows that I was at court and they know that I had my first sighting at the river. So maybe they were thinking that I would walk to the river. And this is just all a setup, I was just getting paranoid.
Checking
But no,
up
this
on
dude, it was weird as fuck though. But no, this is what tripped me out as like more than anything. That same fucking morning, I was studying Anunnaki on my phone. I swear to God, it freaked me out so fucking bad. But I said, why would you say that? And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, I said, do you know that I'm talking to Mukon? He was like, no. He said, I just had a feeling. He said, I can sense it. And dude, it tripped me out. But I started talking to him, and we started talking about quantum physics and it's like all this crazy shit. And he started telling me this weird shit. He said that he's moving backwards in time. I swear to God, you can't make this shit up. He said, I'm here to help you all. He said that we're trying to fix what you fucked up. And I just started laughing. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, we keep giving you little gifts to try to help your species. And he said, y'all will take it and fuck it up every time. And
Sounds like us.
I was just like, I was thinking in my head, like, what in the world is going on? And then, like, look, here's what's crazy. Look, so I've got this in for anybody that can see it. God, that was horrible. This is shit. Hold on. I have this tattoo, Infinity, on my arm. When I was talking to this guy, supposed Anunnaki dude, I never even got his real name. He did tell me that he was Enoch reincarnated, or know that he knew Enoch somehow. That was really fucking weird to me too. He said something about knowing Enoch. He took a picture of my fucking tattoo on my arm, and that really fucking it bugged me. I swear to God, like we were talking, and he said, "What's that tattoo on your arm? Can I see it?" I did like that with my arm. He pulled out his quick phone and he took a picture, and I'm still like paranoid. I'm like, hey, I was like, whoa, what was that, man? And he said, oh, it's just something to remember you by. And I'm like, what in the world? And then I was smoking a cigarette. He said, God, hold on, let me remember. Oh, I was smoking a cigarette. He said, can I get a cigarette before I go? And I asked him, I said, if you're on Anunnaki, why would I need a cigarette? Or why would you need a cigarette? Why would you need smoking? And I handed him a cigarette, and he said, if you really want to know, he said, you've been carrying that pack of cigarettes with you. Your frequency is a part of that. So I'm going to smoke this cigarette, and a part of your frequency is going to be a part of me. And I'm just like, I'm thinking in my head, like, what the fuck is going on right now? I swear to God, you can't make shit like this. You guys are the first people I've ever even told this to. I swear to God.
So
he said that I had a purpose. He said you're going to make a difference, and he fucking walked away. And I stood there, and I was just like shocked.
It's a trip to me that you said he was light complected, because I know a handful of people that say they're Anunnaki. 2 of them are related, the rest of them are not, but all of them they're Mexicans with blonde hair and green eyes. Light complected, blonde hair, green eyes.
Well, this guy, he had a hat on. I couldn't see it. He had light skin, or like not black, but he was light skinned. But he had a hat on. I don't know. And there was one other weird thing I forgot to mention. Right whenever I gave him a cigarette, he was wearing glasses. He took his glasses and did like that, and he looked me straight in the eyes, and he said, "You're gonna remember this experience." I swear to God,
that's cool.
Dude, like I'm not even, because this story is so weird and bizarre that I've not even told hardly anybody about this. Like you can't make that shit up, man. But the fact that I was studying Anunnaki that morning, and I don't know, it weirded me out. And I was studying the Dead Sea Scrolls not too long before that, so I knew all about Enoch and everything. And
hey, that lets you know that you were supposed to go through the accident. You were supposed to go through all the shit you were supposed to go through to get exactly where you needed to be right then.
Yep.
Dude, he was standing
That's what I was saying earlier when I was typing in the chat. We don't know why this shit happens throughout our lives. There's something to learn, something to gain from it, though, every time.
Yep.
Something else weird I forgot to say. He told me that we were supposed to, he said your species was supposed to end or he said this timeline was supposed to end in 2012, and that somebody made a sacrifice, something to do with time, and to give us another chance. That's what he told me. I don't know. It's really weird, but I mean, yeah, dude, like you said, I mean, dude, he was standing at the river there. Like, whenever I went to go walk up to the river, he was already right there, like at the river, looking out at the water, you know. And then I just went there and like stood next to the rail. I looked up once, and then I can't remember the first thing that he said to me, but he said something, and then it was like one of the very first words that he said was, "I'm in Anunnaki." And I blew my fucking mind, man. I'm like, what? Like, that's when my paranoia kicked in. I said, why would you say that? You know, like, but I don't know, dude. Now I look at it and I'm like, you know, who knows what? I don't know, really. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Fuck God. Shit, I'm leaving out these details.
I love
He
this.
It could have been a trick. I have no fucking idea. When he was saying this stuff, I said, why should I believe you, man? I said, how do I know you're not crazy? He said, okay, I'm going to show you a trick. And he showed me his phone. He said, you see what time it is on this phone right now? And it was like I don't remember exactly what time. Say it was like 11:45. He handed me a phone. He said, restart this phone for me. And I was like, what? And I'm like, why? He said, just restart the phone. I was just, you know, in my head, I was like, okay, whatever. So I restarted the phone. I handed it back to him. And whenever I did, the time and went back 5 minutes on the phone. To the support. I'm not making none of this shit up, man. Like, it's like I said, when this dude left, man, I just stood there and I was just like thinking in my head, like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I didn't know if it was all a setup, if it was real, you know. I don't know.
He was there waiting for you, man. I mean, he was already there waiting for you. So
I mean,
it must have been set up.
I don't know if it was set up by somebody else watching me or if it was a real Anunnaki or what. I have no idea. When I told my
one of the guys that I know that says he's Anunnaki, he disappeared in his closet for 27 days, said he was going home and stayed in the closet, did not leave. I knew some people that were living with him. And he did not come out of that closet for 27 days. I don't know if he had food and water in there. I don't know if he actually went somewhere. I have no idea. He was doing a lot of drugs at the time and whatnot. So
that's
weird.
I don't know what the actual situation is in the real physical world.
He got his delivery and said, I'm going home. I'll see y'all in 7 days.
Most of you guys know that I have not like brought up that story or talked about that to anybody since it first happened with my Instagram. It was just so weird and out there. I figured like if I tell anybody about this, they're gonna think I'm fucking, you know, batshit crazy.
Not us.
Everything, and I'm still not saying 100% that he was an Anunnaki, but then again, who knows? You know, like maybe he was. It was really strange. The whole situation was strange, and the fact that it was at the river too. That's the place I had my first sighting at. You know? It was here in Wilmington at the river, but it's the same river that I was at in Fayetteville when I had my first sighting.
Wow, that's amazing, dude. That's crazy. I can't believe you shared that with us. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Something else really weird, you know, Ryan Bledsoe lives here in Wilmington. I didn't know that. I don't know if I told you guys that. I did not know he lived here when I moved to Wilmington. I didn't even believe in UFOs or any of this. I moved here in Wilmington when me and my ex-girlfriend got a house here like 2 years ago. It was this year that I got into the whole UFO thing. I found out that you know, Ryan and Chris, that they were into it, that they'd blown up, I guess, gotten a lot bigger than when I first, you know, heard about their story. But it's weird to me that my mother, I told you guys, she moved back to where I lived on H. Bullard in Grace Creek, directly across the street. Her new boyfriend, or they've been together for like 5 years now. Her boyfriend that she's with now, she might as well be married, lives directly across the street from the man who almost killed me. I told you guys about that.
Yeah.
My sister just last year moved back to that same street, across the street from the house that I grew up in. And this is 2 miles, not even 2 miles, maybe a mile and a half away from Chris Bledsoe's house, where Chris Bledsoe used to live. So I'm thinking it's like the universe. That's why Sarah was like the universe is pulling me in this direction, because like Ryan's here, you know, it's like a part of phenomenon is here. Even though I don't talk to Ryan that much, I was more closer to Chris Jr., you know, growing up. But I did talk to Brian on the phone a couple months ago. But still, it's like there's something, connecting the phenomena here in Wilmington, and an hour and a half away in Fayetteville. My family moved back to where I lived growing up, right next to the Bledsoe. So it's it's just like these weird little synchronicities and shit. It's I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of it myself, to be honest, but I don't know. I told that to Chris, and he thought it was pretty significant. He said the same thing. He said, the synchronicities are leading you back here.
Man. Huh. So much to take in, man.
I'm saying, I know I keep like just spilling.
I'm still tripping out on the Anunnaki guy.
Yeah, me too.
I don't like the phone going back 5 minutes. I'm trying to imagine a phone that I've ever had that I could do something like that on. Like maybe I could do something before you reset it, and I can't think of anything.
That's the thing. Like he didn't even do it. He gave me the phone, and I'm the one that reset it. And I wish I would have been looking at people around me to see if anything weird happened. I have no idea. Or maybe it's just our bodies that our minds that I have no idea, man.
The craziest thing too is like phones today, you can't even, as far as I know, you can't even change the time on it. Isn't it just synced up with the cell phone towers?
Most of you can turn that off and do it yourself.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, just
not after you reset it. It's gonna go back. It'll either go to midnight if you have that setting off, it'll go straight up 12, or it's like when I'm in the mountains, if I shut my cell phone off or let it go dead, and this is a Note 20. It's a new phone. You let these things go dead in the mountains with no signal, and the correct time does not come back on them.
Oh.
Same with your Samsung watch.
Right.
Man. And he showed me the phone. He said, "Look at what time it is." And then he handed me the phone, and I reset it and looked at the time, and it was 5 minutes backwards, 5 minutes before what the time was. I'm just like, I was like, "What the fuck?" I said, "How did you do that?" And he said,
"I've been looking around to see if other people were walking back by again."
Right.
I thought about that, but I didn't know what was about to happen. I was just thinking, this guy's crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
I
just saw that squirrel 5 minutes ago. Oh man.
Crazy, yeah.
The craziest thing about all this, Josh, is that I take your word for gospel. I trust you so much. Just I don't know. Like I've talked to other people about this kind of stuff before, and I just don't trust them like I trust you.
If I wasn't being so selfish the other night, Chad, and wanted to hear all of the stories that he can't tell live, if I would have went live so people could see his reactions an hour after these sightings, oh man, he was shaking.
Oh, I bet.
He couldn't stop talking or shaking.
Josh. You talked to Josh?
Off, private.
All right.
Yeah, and yeah.
I'm just glad he's got people to talk to, because I can't even imagine seeing that kind of stuff and having nobody to talk to about it. You just be like going crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad I got video evidence this time. I mean, I know it sucks that I had to record that video from another phone, and I don't even know why I'm not able to share those. Like it every time I try to share them, it just said error. Well, no, that's weird. But I was like, fuck that, I'm getting these videos. So I literally grabbed an old phone and recorded them off that phone. But I know it's not the best quality, but you can see those stars like moving and coming to stops, and
he told me about those videos that night, just like an hour after he took them, and those are the exact same things he described as those videos he sent me in Messenger. So those were the videos he told me he had, and to a T, everything he said that was on there down to the triangle was on the videos.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of videos, I have to bring this one back up because this is the craziest one, and we haven't shown it yet. I mean, we haven't shown it today.
For anybody watching, yeah.
Hey, and happy birthday, Spooky!
Hey, happy birthday, Spooky!
Happy birthday, Spooky! Is Spooky who was asking about the Native American thing?
Yep. Yeah, Spooky. If you haven't seen this video, this has everything to do with the Native Americans.
You're about to see a real entity, Spooky. If you haven't already seen this,
I'll show that again, Sonny.
Oh, I was showing Spooky. That's my medicine bag, my deer nut sack. Don't get it too close to my chin. I don't like that.
All right, so this is the one that Who are the Native Americans? Did they just come over to Chris's house for this reason?
Yeah, but I don't know how he got into contact with them. But they came over there because of Chris, you know.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Yeah, watch this.
When the orb that pops up on the left, Sushi.
Watch this side of the screen, okay? You're gonna see a flash. See that?
Oh, I got one finally.
Oh, all right. So we're gonna have to slow this way down to see what just happened. But
I might have the shot of it, but it's better.
Hey,
if you
real
do it
quick.
From her reaction, it sounded like it's almost like catching lightning or something.
Watch.
Before you play this real quick, I just want to say this is the yard that I grew up not even a mile and a half maybe away from it.
This is another video you have?
No, I wasn't there. I wasn't there for this, but I mean where this video was recorded. This was in Chris's backyard, and I grew up a mile and a half away from him. Like me and Chris Jr.
So this Bledsoe property has crazy crap happening all the time?
No, Chris
Bledsoe. That's where he goes. It's
no matter
Chris,
where he goes.
Family. Dude.
Oh, okay.
Chris Bledsoe Sr. is the main one who's like a lightning rod, but it's his family too. Like the one that we play earlier with the disc that looks like it has a dome on the top of it. That was Chris Jr. He wasn't even around his dad at the time. So
like that was amazing. That's crazy to me. That video is like, wow.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. There's a connection somehow.
What's left for the Dr. Z Smith?
What did he say?
He said, "Man, it looks like kangaroo dried. It looks like kangaroo dried balls. I don't know what it is, but it's a deer's dried nutsack, not a kangaroo.
Deer balls, not.
I can't catch the kangaroos wear theirs out from bouncing. The deer run, so they just shake back and forth.
It's seriously deer nuts. That's hilarious, man.
Yeah, that's not what's in there. It's a medicine bag. It's got stuff in there." Keeps me safe. Can you get it, Chad?
I'm trying. There it is. Okay, so here's the orb showing up in the camera. Do this. Only like half of a frame.
You got it.
It's coming in.
Yep. Almost there it is. See that skeleton?
Yes. I showed it to some people, and it is like one person I showed this to was a complete skeptic, and I showed them this, and they're like, they text me later on that day, and they're like, I think I'm a believer now.
Oh, and this video has been checked, right, Josh? It's it's not been tampered with. Plus, he knows the Bledsoes, and the way he talks about them, Bill, is the way I talk about us. Like, there's no way. There's no way we could do something like that. We don't know the first thing about that kind of stuff. We're lucky we could get on here.
Yeah, we're learning every day, both of us.
He doesn't have the time, man. He has thousands. I mean, literally, thousands. He pulled up like his spot. When Ryan Bledsoe said on his podcast, he has thousands of pictures and videos. He is not exaggerating. He pulled up something, was scrolling through it, and I mean, it was just like so fucking many. I'm like, gosh, like.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. Is like if these are fake, he'd have to have a whole production crew, making these on a daily basis because he's got a lot of them.
They're definitely not fake.
You know what's funny? When Josh told me about these videos before I seen them, before I seen any of them, I thought, yeah, but what they're seeing, that could be like, they describe it. It looks like a Roman candle, the way that's what an orb, that's how it. And then after I seen the videos, I was like, they ain't no damn Roman candle. That's nothing like what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, I saw 15, 20 of them over there. You can hear my voice in those other videos. I would defend that Chris Bledsoe is really legit. He's experienced this stuff. I get like a lot of people are, wishy-washy about him just because he has a spiritual view on everything. But I mean, people are going to take this information whatever way, best suits them, like that. Whether you agree with his opinions or not, you can't deny that he's experiencing this stuff.
They need to look at his spirituality then as that's just him being so grateful and not knowing exactly who to think. He's thinking what he's been taught his whole life, just like we all do.
Yeah, but his beliefs have also changed a lot because of this. Like he still believes in Jesus and stuff, but he also his church ostracized him. Literally, they like thought he was messing with the devil. Literally,
that wasn't his church then. That wasn't for him because he wasn't doing nothing wrong.
No, I mean they healed it. Well, that's the thing. He's thinking like, if these are demons or the devil, why would they have healed me from my Crohn's disease? And he has, documented medical proof that he had been treated for Crohn's disease for 15 years, and then after his abduction, it's gone, healed. I talked to him about this the other day.
I'm ready to go.
Like the other thing, his church, they literally like one day were out there fucking throwing holy water on his property. I mean, seriously, it's crazy. His wife originally, but his wife, the one that recorded that video that you were just playing, she initially didn't like any of this stuff for years and years, from what I've heard, like thought it was the devil, Now recently she's come around more to it. But I mean, he prays and they appear, But he does say that, he believes, religion isn't like what we hear today about religion isn't the real story, of like, I mean, because of the fact that things have been tampered, like that's why we have all these different denominations.
All the religions, you don't read the whole story. They only teach you little pieces of the story.
Yeah, but like what people think happened, like in all these religions, I don't think any of us know the exact details about what happened. Like even like Jesus, and I don't mean to offend anybody. Like I'm not going to say that Jesus didn't do miracles that they said he did, because I see balls of light pop up from nothing into something. They're intelligent, I just don't think that anybody knows the exact story about what happened, and I think that over time things have been altered and tampered, in all religious texts, And me and Chad were talking yesterday. You got to think about language. This is sacred text, but it's ancient, and language evolves over time. Like think about people speaking English today. 100 years ago, somebody speaking English, you could barely understand them just because of dialect and the way that language evolves over time. So this text, back then, the way that people they were explaining things, the way that best suited them back then. Maybe back then,
a hard time understanding my children.
Yeah, exactly. Because like slang, and all the lingo, and things that people say, you salty, man, like all this weird these weird slang words that pop up, yeah, exactly. Language
or sus, like Big Willie says.
I'm not saying that there's not truth in religion. I just, things have been altered, things changed, things have been removed from the Bible. Look at the Dead Sea Scrolls; they were lost for thousands of years. And I think it's a little coincidental that they found the Dead Sea Scrolls. I don't know the exact time, but it was like 70 or 80 years ago or something like that. Wasn't that like that was somewhere around the time of the Roswell incident, wasn't it? They talk about like the Watchers in the Dead Sea Scrolls. I'm just piecing things together here.
I don't remember that being together. I just remember the story of like it was shepherds that some sheep wandered up that mountain, and when they went up there, a kid threw a rock into the cave and he heard something break. So they went in there, and that's when they found those pottery vases filled with the scrolls.
Yeah, that's the oldest biblical text. It's older than any biblical text that's ever been found, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Yeah. But it's so controversial. People don't want to put it in the Bible and stuff because they think that it's not correct. Like, what do you mean? If they talked about, there's direct links in the Dead Sea Scrolls to so many things in the Bible, and older than any biblical text that we have, but people still don't want to put it in the Bible.
Have you seen them? They have some. They have some open, and then they have some that aren't open that they can't open yet. But they have some that are open. They show them, but we can't read it. I can't read it. It's
that's not the only
ancient language or something.
That's not the only lost text too.
I think the reason they don't teach it and it's not more common is because it probably doesn't have much in there about trying to control us.
Well, I think people just don't like change too. Yeah. Yeah, and you're right, because that's what I think me and Chad were saying yesterday. Like, I don't think religions were ever supposed to divide and frighten people. It was supposed to enlighten and unite people. And I just rhymed. I didn't mean to do that.
I agree, and I think us people have gotten our hands so deep in it that for the most part, the entity of religion is tainted. I don't think there's anything wrong with the spirituality or whatever religion or entity you believe in, but I think the people that control the structure of religion have got it tainted to basically the same thing as government control and tax.
Exactly. Me and Chad were just saying the same exact thing yesterday. That they take these.
The difference is you're taxed what you feel you can afford to pay, as opposed to what they feel you can afford to pay.
Yeah, exactly. They take this, these stories, and they use it in a way to control people. Exactly like what you're saying. They, like the churches or religions, they start turning to like a government. And I don't mean to offend anybody saying any of this stuff, because I do believe there's truth in religion. I don't like to put labels on things, but look at the church during like the Renaissance era. Like if people would get burned at the stake for practicing fucking science. They would like burn people for witchcraft, and all they're doing is like science. Like trying to make medicine to heal people and stuff. But back then it was like, oh no, this is black magic, devil, whatever. It's
they believe a little heavier on that. Everything happens for a reason. Deal.
Yeah, I do believe it, but I also believe that there's corrupt. I believe that there's some people that are born in this world that, like most of us, we're trying to do something good. I think that there are people that are just born maybe evil. I mean, I don't know if you want to call it evil entities or whatever. I don't know how to say it. I think most people are good in nature, in the heart naturally, but I do think there are certain people that are just, born trying to mess things up. I mean, like.
Yeah, but even those people, if they have consistent consequences, they generally straighten out. It's when they get away with it and talk their way out of it and slide on through for years and years and years until they're already, they're in their 20s or 30s, and that's just who they are.
Or do you believe let's say, do you believe that there are certain people that, and I'm not trying to say that I believe, so I'm trying to be careful about what I say because I don't want to offend anybody. But do you think that there are certain people that might be either born with or later on in their life, they are an entity or they have an evil entity attached to them, like something negative, like some kind of
I think every one of us has an evil part of us. I think every one of us has a bitter, evil part of us that we suppress. Basically, for the sake of the people around us.
Yeah, everybody has their demons that
and I think the more you feed it and the less consequences you have from your actions, the more you repeat those actions.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's good entities, and I think there could be evil entities, and like you said, I think if you feed those negative actions, maybe that lowers your frequency to a point where low frequency beings are able to attach to you or something, or manipulate you.
Sure. I definitely believe that. Like, think about the last time you lost your shit or whatever it was over, jealousy or road rage or whatever. You are not in control of you at a certain point. You lose your shit and something else takes over. And then after a minute, you're like, oh, wait, I'm not in control. I need to chill. I need to calm myself down.
Yeah, I don't know how we got on this subject, but I think it's like the duality. I think I mean I got this.
I keep hearing you mention duality. I've been listening all morning. You keep mentioning what do you mean by duality?
Okay, okay, I'm gonna try to explain this without going off on a tangent.
I just give me a little taste.
Okay, for one, I tell you, I keep seeing yin yang symbols everywhere, and it's been going on for months. Like whether it's in a video or like on somebody's car or wherever, I keep seeing this yin yang, and that's the old duality. Well,
you're talking about the duality of man, like the good and evil, all wrapped into one package, and the yada yada, like we were kind of talking about.
Yes, but a little more than that too. Also with nature and with the universe, I think that like there's a masculine and a feminine side of nature or the universe. But like Geraldine said this the other day on Spaced Out Radio. The feminine, the way she's explained, it's exactly the way I was thinking it too. I just kept putting those words. And Chris Bledsoe completely agreed with me too the other day when I was talking about this. The feminine side of nature or the universe is like the intuition, kind of just like the universe itself, and then the masculine is like the action. So like us, like free will. So I picture time like a river, right? And we're going through river, but every action that we make, even like the thoughts that we have, are sending out a ripple at a time. And I mean, even like every second, because the thoughts that we have send a ripple through our body. Like you think negative thoughts, and you get these impulses in your brain that can literally release these chemicals and stuff. And yeah, like if you think negative, you're gonna get sick easier. You're not gonna want to be around people. You're not gonna have energy. It feels like you're going through time slower. But if you have high frequency emotions and you're happier, you want to be around people better. Yeah, man, that's awesome. You have a high frequency emotions. Yeah, man, keep that up for a second. Because I was gonna say something just about that. So you have like these more higher frequency emotions. Feels like time is literally moving by quicker, and you feel healthier. You have more drive. You want to be around people. It feels like things are just working more in your favor. And the way that I've been seeing it is like whenever you're at a high frequency state like that, it's like you're going through this river of time, because time is just energy. Everything is energy, even like a rock. Inside of those atoms, inside of those electrons, or everything is energy at its smallest point is vibrating. So we go through this river of time. I feel like if we're at a high frequency state, it's like we're literally going through time, kind of like this river, but it's going smoother, and we're getting through things better. We're reacting to action, other ripples. Say like we bump into something created by somebody else, like say some negative circumstance, but if we're at a high state of mind, we respond to that better, and we're able to work around it better. Where if we're at a low state, that river of time, that's energy that we're going through, it's more like rapids, like crashing off a rock, like waves just splashing everywhere. Do you get what I'm saying? I know I'm kind of like bouncing around there a little bit, but like, so go ahead.
I'm picking up what you're laying down.
I try to get this out of my head sometimes because I have a hard time putting into words. Like that picture there.
For me personally, the conversation, I don't feel, I don't think like time exists. I think time is.
Yeah, definitely. I do.
In order for time to be something other than a measurement like inch, like for time travel and all that kind of stuff, you'd have to have everything on the infinite plane of everything in existence lined up exactly like that. Every molecule, every particle, everything would have to be lined up exactly the way it is now, but at a different point in time than right now. All the exact stuff happening. You know what I mean? I think it's just a measurement from when something with a consistent speed, consistent velocity, like the sun or whatever, and something that has a consistent speed is measured from this point of movement to this point of movement.
Yeah, I agree. Do you know
everything else we were talking about? Definitely, I agree that your emotions invoke other stuff in the universe, whether it's energy or entities or whatever, to help you further that path that you're so focused on, whether it's good or bad. If you can't handle the way life is right now and you're on a chaotic course, your life is going to change drastically in one way or another. Whatever it is that you're focused and you're heated about, I think you pick up energies and whatnot to achieve that.
Yeah, you attract. That's the law of attraction. Exactly what you're saying.
Like when you need stuff to be chaotic and you feel like you got to lose your top and to straighten things out a little bit, then more energy attracts to you that's chaotic.
Yeah, you literally draw that stuff into your life. And I think that's like what the whole synchronicity thing is, like we're saying. But I believe exactly like what you're saying. Like time, I don't think there's no past, present, or future. It's weird. At the same time, have you ever heard of like the multiverse theory? Because I really do believe this now. Like I think there's an infinite number of realities that we go through, and the way I've been thinking about, I think like what if we're just living and like the whole point is to like the universe is experiencing itself. So they say like at the beginning of time, like there was nothing and it all came into existence. Whether you believe in like a religion or the Big Bang or whatever, they said it like so take I'm not saying I believe the Big Bang happened the way that it did, but they said that all the universe or all the energy, all the matter in the universe was all compressed into one point and then just expanded outwards infinitely. That would mean that at one point in time everything was all connected together, and that shows that we're all connected together. But I mean, we really are connected at the molecular level. Like I was telling these guys, if you burn a tree, since you can't create energy or destroy it, just turn to another form of energy. If you set a tree on fire, you're not destroying that tree from the universe. You're just raising its frequency. The heat can go up into the atmosphere, mix with the water molecules in the sky, fall down, and rain down one element to another. It grows into another tree and produces oxygen for us to breathe. Where it makes a fruit and we eat that fruit and we're a part of it. We're literally a part of everything at the smallest point. Everything is energy. And I like what you were saying with the law of attraction. Like I think like our thoughts, literally they shape reality. Like the clothes that you're wearing, the cell phone that we're talking on, it was all thought in somebody's head. They had to make that into existence. Like if Henry Ford would have never made the first automobile, what would we be doing right now? That ripple effect had an effect that went out in time and just changed everything. It changed everybody in the way that we get around and travel. But I get a little tongue tied saying all this sometimes. What I was trying to say, I feel like since all the energy in the universe is all at one point at the beginning, and we're a part of that, I feel like we're a part of the universe experiencing the universe. So like Luke 17:21 in the Bible, it says the kingdom of God is within you. The kingdom of God is not in one man or a group of man, it's within all of man. To me, I think that's saying that like, we're like there's a piece of God in us, or like we're a fractal of God and or the universe, however you want to say it. And we're experiencing, God, it's hard to explain, or it's hard to get out what I'm trying to say. But I feel like we have to go through life and experience negativity and struggles to be able to appreciate it. I used to think to myself, like, if God is omnipotent or omnipotent, sorry, then like why would the universe be? I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue tied. I need to try to say this right. Let me think real quick. I had this theory, maybe like God split himself into an infinite amount of like fractals, and we're part of that. And the whole point of it is that it's infinitely going out, and it's like we're learning to be. I'm sorry, I'm getting so tongue tied here.
It's okay. It's been 4 hours, so.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm getting.
That's understandable. We'll give you it.
A little fried. Like, what if God made himself mortal? Him or her? I don't think God is a him or her. God, like we're all part of God, and we're experiencing mortal life to know what it's like to be mortal. Like God put infinite little pieces of himself inside of these little vessels that we're in, and it's to be able to experience life. Because we're mortal, we die, we go through pain and suffering and all this negativity, things that omnipotent God wouldn't have. And then you have to reason that God put himself in. Sorry, to what?
So that's all Eve's fault because she had to have that damn apple.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got so tongue tied trying to say all that earlier, but that's what I was just thinking. You know, like if God is inside of everything, maybe we're experiencing. If we didn't know what loss and struggle and pain and all this stuff is, you know, if we didn't go through that, we wouldn't know how to appreciate it. So, like, if we were just perfect at the beginning of time and we had everything, we wouldn't be able to appreciate everything to the fullest because we wouldn't have lost it before. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I got way so like scrambled and all that.
We're going deep today. We're going deep.
Yeah, bro, I got totally tongue tied.
The funny thing is, I feel like I said that like an hour and a half in. I'm like, we're going deep today. It's 3 hours and 40 minutes in. That's awesome, dude. It's not like we've been bored on the podcast. You've been spitting out some facts.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, so
the outside world's trying to contact us.
Do what?
They're waking up.
Yeah, people are waking up.
Yeah. California's getting up right now.
What if God was Chad Smith? What if God was just a stranger on a bus?
What if cannabis? Yeah, I apologize. I got so scrambled brain trying to say all that earlier. It's like I thought I had it perfect in my head, but when I was trying to get it out, it's just like I don't know. So
yeah, no problem, man.
I'll get better at saying all this the more I practice it, the more that I learn. I'm not saying that any of this is like exactly the way that things are. It's just theories that I have. Yeah, we've been going on about 4 hours, guys. I think I'm about to have to.
Yeah, I haven't had any food. I'm very hungry. Yeah, I'll probably just live off, body fat for the next couple of days.
That's funny.
When I was doing keto, it proved to me that you can just drink water for a few days if you need to.
I got the breakfast of champions right here. That's a whole jar of Chico sticks.
Chico sticks.
Candies.
Oh, they look like mushrooms. I'm like, holy moly.
That's what I thought you had. I was about to say, damn, somebody's going to get on a spaceship.
I'm on my way.
All right, you guys, it was a good talk. I'm about to go get some food. My brain feels a little scrambled right now trying to get out all that earlier. I'm sorry I didn't get it out the way I wanted to.
No problem. We'll do it all again soon.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, we'll see you, Josh.
Right,
thanks,
man. Good stories, good times.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be on a podcast tomorrow at some time. I don't know. It's like a paranormal.
I think it's Paranormal Chop Shop. We better both.
Paranormal Chop Shop.
Got a new guest. Or no, not even a new guest. New addition.
New addition.
Paranormal Chop Shop. Going to be introducing.
It's going to be awesome. Especially if it goes like it did last night when I had my reading. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I seen that. We were watching it.
Hell yeah.
Me and Keystone, Captain Keystone were watching.
Yeah, you guys were up late.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, neither one of those guys are going to be in the podcast in the morning.
I made it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you brought your bodyguard.
That's awesome. Right. Silent but deadly Papa Willie. He wasn't silent today, though. You don't have to be silent on this show.
Nope. Did you tell him the idea that somebody we know had for him?
Yeah. He's just
the sunglasses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's not in character today.
Yeah, neither are you. I know who you are. I'm not confused right now.
Yep.
Like I was on Halloween. All right, guys. Well, I guess it's my turn. I gotta end this bitch.
I couldn't believe his Halloween costume. That was great, man.
I know it looks real. I mean, I've got some screenshots where you can't even tell the difference.
That shit is funny.
Oh, fap, dude. I tried the water diet, but it turned out to be vodka. Yep. Spooky says we need more Papa Willie wisdom. I
Tune
definitely
in Friday
agree.
night.
Yep.
We'll be
Tune
on
in tomorrow.
6 o'clock. PDT.
Yeah,
California
6 o'clock
time.
your time, 9 o'clock my time.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And yeah, I'll let you call it. You've been on for a long time.
Yeah, dude, I don't even know how to do it after 4 hours. You're just like, okay, we'll see you guys next time.
Don't forget, you guys tune in every night for Dave's show, Spaced Out Radio.
Yep, Dave's
Go
show
for it.
Monday. Actually, it's every day, all 7 days. Spaced Out Radio, midnight Eastern.
Yep, and
9
then
o'clock
Lynn
Pacific.
Washington keeps that train rolling on the weekends for
Wallington.
your Spaced Out.
Wallington.
I thought it was Washington.
I thought so too, but it's Wallington. I've been corrected before.
Wallington. I'm sorry.
Lynn Wallington, Saturdays and Sundays with Big Willie.
Oh, Big Willie and John and
Yep, the whole gang,
Jim,
man.
Jim and Jade.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
a good.
They're gonna. Man, that's
Big
gonna
Willie
be
got
awesome.
such a radio voice.
Yeah, I can't. I tried going through an effects processor and I ended up uninstalling it. It doesn't even work.
When I named him Captain Save a Show, I don't know how long ago. How did I call that one, man? He's on everybody's show, and it just makes them better.
Yeah, and like if you're stalling or if you're like tripping over your words or you can't figure out the next topic to talk about, he'll come on and he saves the show.
Yep, Captain Save a Show.
What are you guys doing in here? What are you guys doing? What's going on? Yeah, he's got a good voice.
All right, man.
Yep. All right, we'll talk to you guys next time. I don't know when we're going to go live. We don't have a schedule right now, but definitely check out Paranormal Chop Shop on YouTube, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's every Friday. And then also subscribe to Spaced Out Radio and check out Dave at 9 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.